Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's Sunday, and that means it's time for us to be jumping in some good old Warframe. Hello, and welcome back to it all. Hello there, Beardface. Hello, DeconV. How are we both doing today? Hopefully you're having a good day, wherever you are in the world. I mean, obviously I know where you are, Beard, but wherever the rest of y'all are. Today, as the stream title may suggest, I intend to get some ayatans, because you see, I did some counting. I went through and counted every single one of my sculptures. I could have picked them up and counted them in the inventory, then put them back down again. I didn't want to do that. So I went around bit by bit and I counted all of the sculptures. And the sculptures in this room alone, well, they're not enough. Honestly, they're actually not enough. I thought there was more in here than there are, but they aren't. So I need more. That's why today is ayatan hunting. I want more. So I'm going to have more. That's it. Simple as that. Hello Evo Shady, and hello Yokizo Grande. How are you both doing as well? So that is a plan. That is a plan. Some rocky numbers? I didn't even give you numbers. I didn't even give you numbers. But yeah, the numbers are actually a bit dissatisfying. Like, how many sculptures do you guys think are here? If you had to guess, how many sculptures do you think are here? I'll give you a moment to guess. I'll give you a moment to have a think. You know, you can take in the scale of the room. How many do you think there are? About how much endo is in the room? I mean, that's a follow-up or similar question, yeah. At least 4? Well, yes, there is at least 4. You're very right on that. Reese, you are very much right on that. It's at least 4 there, Reese. Yeah. So we got guesses 300, 150, 138, 100, 100, 420. Nice. So the actual answer, and seriously, this is after counting them all, there are 172. 172 sculptures in this room. That includes this one up here. That includes this whole row of them here and all the ones around the site. It includes that one right there. That includes this one on the ceiling. That includes this one in the ceiling. There's 172. I really thought there would be more. I really thought there would be more than this, but no, there isn't. So I'm going to increase that count. And that's the aim of today. Now, as everyone knows, a very easy way of getting a NASA sculpture is by going ahead and doing the sortie, so even though we normally start with this anyway, I'm definitely starting with this today. I've got double reason, because clearly I'm going to walk away with a NASA sculpture, aren't I? It's just predestined now. It's how it's going to be. So that is what indeed I'll be going through, and as usual today as well, we do have the Platinum giveaway. I notice more than a few of you have already seen that is there. Your names are appearing up on the ticker there. So if you do want to get in on that, you can grab the ticket at any point during the stream today, and I'll do the draw at the end of the stream. If you're not here at the end of the stream, I will send you a message here on Twitch. I'll send you a message either way, actually. So long as you are in it, if your name gets drawn, you have your chance at winning it. You just need to respond to that Twitch message before, before the next stream, just to make sure I can actually get it through properly on time. Okay, as I was saying, 2 questions. What bonus do you recommend for Kuva Ogress? We went over that one, didn't we? I think if you want a really safe bonus, I would go with either Radiation or Magnetic. Magnetic will give you more status to work with, but then that doesn't really work with the Ogress. It would just be more as a primer. Radiation is decent damage dealer against highly armored targets, so that works overall. If you have a very specific build in mind, you can build towards that. Usually heat would be a good to go one on that one. You give yourself more heat chances. Otherwise, you can go for a toxin bonus, because that can lead into building for corrosive, as well as leading into building for viral, a hunter munition style. But yeah, that's the kind of direction you're looking at there. Usually, if you've not really got a build in mind, I'd say just go radiation. And secondly, do innate heat on weapons factor into heat proc damage calculation. So the way it innate damage bonuses like that, they're called the progenitor bonus. They are considered base damage. So if you have a base bonus of 25% heat, it's still just part of the base damage. The whole base damage is used through the normal heat proc calculation. It doesn't give you any mod bonuses or anything like that. Likewise, say if you had radiation on there, it would still be counted into the heat damage because it's part of the base damage. If you modded in heat, that is. Okay, have you watched Arcane? I have not watched Arcane. I don't know what Arcane actually is. Not in the show sense, no. Missed the beginning. Why more ayatan? Did you really miss the beginning, Nazirko? Did you really miss the beginning? I mean, fair enough if you did. The reason I need more is because this is not enough. There's only 172 in here. I want more, so I'm getting more. Can you join for the sortie? You absolutely can. Send a message to the Kengineering game. I'll bring you on into the squad. We'll take it from there. It's this League Lore animated series, and it's nuts. League Lore? What, as in League of Legends? I don't play and don't care for League of Legends. A little bit of interesting music comes out of it, but that's about it. So I might just generally pass on that. Arcane's new League of Legends... new Netflix series related to League of Legends. Yeah, I'm going to pass on that. Thanks for the suggestion, but, you know, I'm quite happy just generally not going down that road. I'm fine with that. So, let's see, what have we got for today's sortie? We have got a spy mission. I don't need to hear Alan twice. We've got a spy mission with Elemental Enhancement Toxin, okay? We got a rescue mission, enemy physical enhancement. These are two very quick missions. And then we've got an assassination on Eris with one of the more annoying conditions we can have. But it's a relatively light. So, let's smash into these. Now, I could use a spy frame, or I could use the fact that now MR30s can take an unranked frame into a sortie. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually just going to do that. It's not what I think, though. It's related to League of Legends lore, not gameplay. Fully enough for you, Info Shady. That's exactly what I thought it was, because if you did a gameplay series on Netflix, I imagine that would absolutely suck. It would just be stupid. So I expected it to be more lore-focused, especially, as Chalamandra said, it's a League lore animated series. Still doesn't pique my interest. Like, if the thing that's advertising it is League of Legends lore rather than something, you know, the trope I need to care about lore, I'm probably not going to care. Add your DM someone you don't have added. So the way you do it is you do /W, you type in their name, and then you send their message, which may be stuff like, hello, I would like to join your amazing squad because it has beard in it. I can't whisper that to myself, so clearly that message didn't exist. Sorry, beard, doesn't mean it. What does the W mean? It means whisper. So it's shorthand for whisper. See? /W means whisper. Hello, I'd like to join your amazing squad because you have beard in it. There we are. That's exactly how you do it, Slugbugs. Perfect. Well done. Come on into the squad then. So, galvanized condition overload mods don't work on anything that is considered a radial attack or AoE, correct? Kind of. I haven't fully tested this to make sure I've got it fully right, but from what I understand, if we take, for example, the Kuvashaka here as an example, the direct damage, the actual hit damage, that is affected, okay? But any secondary damage, like the radiant attack here, isn't affected. It is only the initial damage of the hit. I need to test with the Ignis Ray, for example, because this is one where a lot of people are like, oh, it's not going to work on that one because it's AoE. This just has a single damage. It's not a damage and then an AoE damage added on. It just happens to have loads of punch through. So that one, if I understand it correctly, will work. Whereas something like the Exceltra, it'll only work on the impact damage. It won't work on the radial because radial is separate. It's a second damage that happens after the fact. That's what I understand. So if the majority of damage is coming from radial attack, just drop it? Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's the answer here. So the Kuvashaka is actually an interesting example because a lot more damage comes from the direct damage on single target. But if you can get enough enemies into that 2.9 meter range, then the radial attack begins to matter more and more. So you've got that trade-off there. Are you going for a direct damage or radial damage attack? I think there was a weapon which had its AoE on the main damage, aside from the what do we call it? The Ignis. It's not the Zara. So Zara is a bad one. Cortac is not an explosive. Was it the Spirex? Or am I misremembering that one? No, that's got radial as well, so that wouldn't benefit. No. Although again, it has more damage on the direct hit, but not all of it, and certainly not a large portion. It's only a little bit more than the radial. So yeah, overall, radial attacks, no bueno. Let's get rid of this Ignis Ray, please. Thank you. There we go. Trumner? I wouldn't know. I haven't taken the Trumner out of the foundry yet. I finally got around to building it, finally got all the Seriglass needed, or one of it, but haven't actually built it yet. You know what? I thought I didn't have a weapon slot. Apparently I do have a weapon slot, so let's go try that. Hydrate? Yeah, sure, here we go. There you are then, Chris. So, Trumner. Let's have a look at the Trumner. Where is it? There it is. I got a few weapons level. Oh, that one formed, but I saw that one's level. Oh wait, that one's to sell, right? Okay, so Trumner. Let me just bring up the stats here real quickly. I'm seeing damage and radial attack. And then semi with damage and radial attack. So Trumner is one it wouldn't work on. Again, if I understand correctly. I haven't tested this yet. I'm basing it on how do you phrase things. And what people have noticed so far with the mod supposedly not working, when it turns out it was bloody intentional the entire time. I'm annoyed at that. I'm very annoyed at that, but yeah. Simulor? Oh god, do I even have a Simulor? I would if I looked at the right slot. Cyanoid, Simulor, and Simulor. Just Simulor. Yeah, they use... oh, that's an interesting one. Bollocks, no. That is an interesting one, actually. That's a very good question, because all of its damage is on the radial. That's a good question. I'll need to test that one, Beard. They don't know, digestion both start and end with cheeks. Say Helios. Say Helios, come on now. Come on. Kuro, to you. Helios. No, I'm not. I'm processing that, no. Best stats to look for on a Carious Riven? Depends on what you're looking to replace on it. We can have a look at that real quickly before we go into the sortie. Very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. So, with the updated information about Galvanized Shot, I've just swapped that for Deep Freeze because of the polarity at this point. As I've put a note on the video, my recommendation for this is instead to put in something like Hornet Strike. You can go into there to go Prime Target Cracker, or you can go with Prime Expel, but of course that requires me to actually polarize the slot though. That requires me to polarize it. But in terms of bits and pieces otherwise, what you can go for is you can go for a pure damage stat, which can replace, of course, the Hornet Strike mod. So that's a good starting point there. Multi-shot is always nice, but you're going to get a lot of multi-shot already because we got Lethal Torrent and Galvanized Diffusion, so it's not actually all that amazing. Having the magazine capacity can help you replace Ice Storm, especially if you get cold and magazine capacity. You can just straight up replace this mod. That'd be a nice one to get. Otherwise, if you can go for a way to replace your Expel mod, if you could replace that with, again, other stats supporting as well, that'd be a nice stat to have. So those are your kind of key ones to be looking at there. In terms of crits, because the crit chance isn't really doing anything, that one wouldn't be one getting, but crit damage can work so long as you are using a form of absolute crit chance as well. Carious any good? Rhino Zerker, I recommend you have a look at the recent video I put out on them. We'll just do that one there for you, my dude. That will give you your answer there on if the Carious is good or not. They're pretty decent. They're not, like, amazing. They're pretty decent. They are pretty decent. Alright then, so let's get on with this sortie. Dilly-dallied enough, let's get cracking on it. You want to be a rock, do you? Rob is great. Alrighty. As we load into this mission, let's quickly switch the music over to a little bit of rock. As you not specified, I'm going to go for the instrumental for now. Up the volume on that ever so slightly, because for some reason the synthwave is just a bit louder. Let's go! Oh, I still haven't switched back to Xeneric. My bad. I need energy. I have energy. Alright, cool. Let's explode. There we go. Grab some allies. Do that as well. Fire a laser beam. And this has an interesting effect. You see, I've put a few bits and pieces together at once on my Zaku. So my Zaku actually now has self-healing capabilities. If I shoot an enemy that's affected by either my 3 or 4, using my 2, then I actually gain health now because of the new augment that's coming out. This build I'm running right now is using both of the new Zaku augments. For better or for worse, someone's got that one. This also means that I have a lot of extra strength on my third ability. Lot, 105% extra strength over what the build would otherwise suggest. And that's very powerful. Not so much against the infested, but overall it is just very powerful. I appear to have gone the wrong way for B, so I'll just go to C. Fine. I feel like I've been beaten to all locations I have, yeah. That's fine. I have also left all of my abilities to run out, so that's silly. Yeah, I'll be doing a video on all of the augments. I'll be going over them in full detail. I'm still a little bit in testing to make sure that these builds I am satisfied with. So far, so good. The Lavos ability augment, I am lukewarm on. It's good. I'll be using it. It's not amazing. It's just good. The Trinity one is better than it first looked because it has some details which aren't exactly mentioned. Again, I'll be covering those in the video. And then the Zaku ones are pretty much as good as they seemed, which is pretty good. Pretty good, surprisingly enough. Yeah, pretty much that. Space Gate saying, I scorched the one half of my ham and cheese sandwich melt. Oops. That ain't so great. How's my day been? Day's been pretty lazy. Does Zaku need health regen? Zaku doesn't need health regen if you have some way of keeping yourself alive otherwise. However, with Zaku's evasion, they pretty much have just that as their defense, is my understanding. It's a good defense, don't get me wrong, but that's pretty much their defense. Hey, 69% damage dealt. Nice. Yeah, if we have a look at Zaku's kit overall here, because this is the build I'm currently sat on, with 3 formers going into it. And we're going to have to wait on that there, $12. But yeah, this is what I'm currently sat on, and with the Relentless Sauce and Vampiric Grasp we've put together here, I can enhance my damage, add on the Void status, I can get loads of guns, I can use all 3 of these abilities very strongly, including total defense reduction, and also grabbing a whole bunch of enemies with the Qs. I've got self-healing involved, and Vast in Time still does Vast in Time things. Including additional slow, it's up to 35% with this build. And it's overall working pretty reasonably, I'd say. The only downside is that it can be a bit energy hungry if I'm not careful. Only if I'm not careful, really. So, yeah. He's saying, I'm yet to meet a British person who isn't with the parent sequence. I think our clan leader is with the other side. I think he's with Pseudohexis. I might be wrong now. I think he's with Pseudohexis, and he is definitely British. Good evening, Realed. How are you doing today? Also, Zom, I'm sorry. I missed your pick a frame there. We'll go back to it. We'll go back to it after this mission. Sorry about that, Zom. Got carried away with the other bits and pieces. My bad. The only downside with this build is that I need energy to get started. Like a fair amount of energy, because I've got no efficiency onto it. Once it's started, it's fine, but if it's not started, it's not fine. Alright, let's see. How many guns have I got? I've got 8 guns at the moment. I can go to a max of 11 with this current setup. I know it's not the maxi max you can get on Zaku, but it's honestly good enough to say that I've got everything else working with me as well. No, again, still doesn't give me energy because I'm still on Zeneric. There's my energy, thank you. Teammate needs help to open the door. Do you get... Serenity? You can't hear me, but... let's see, can I get their attention? Here we go. Here we go, got their attention. They can go under. Oh, and it's done. Lol, thanks. There we go. Another person has learned that shortcut. Excellent. Bit by bit, the news will spread. You don't need to open that door. You just didn't. No. It's alright not knowing something. So long as you learn it when the opportunity is there to learn it, it's fine not knowing something. Unless you know, don't know that left click is how you fire your weapon, in which case why are you here? Cat says hi. Oh, hello, Cat. Quarantine is coming to an end and feeling better again, so pretty good. Oh, that's good to hear though, really. That is good to hear. And I'm doing alright. I got a cup of tea in hand. What can go wrong with that? Does Loki disarm hinder Zaku in the party? No. Zaku will loot guns even from enemies which have been looted. So you can actually repeatedly cast it. It's no problem whatsoever. Zaku steals guns from creatures. He doesn't steal the actual guns. You fire with right click. Okay then. Cool. Really is everyone out there. Really is everyone. Okie dokie. So, we will be using Zaku some more to level them up, but Zon would like to have an invigoration frame. So let's see what invigorations we got available today. I have got an invigoration for Chroma, for secondary crit chance and particle velocity. Well, who needs you, really? I've got invigoration for Mesa, melee crit chance and 1000 health. Okay. Chill, bruh. And then we got invigoration for Ash, primary critical chance and 5 jump resets. I feel like that doesn't really work with his kit so much, but okay, it's a thing. So, which of these do I pick? I mean, it's gotta be the Chroma one. It's gotta be. Yeet! Too much yeet. 3 much yeet. I've gotta have that. Come here. Let's grab ourselves a Chroma Prime. Because, of course, it's a Prime. Oh, I forgot I had the Snowy Prime. Oh, yes, indeed, Realed. It was the most crucial of tips I could possibly give to everyone. You can see why I had to include it. Let's feed the Grave Mine. Apparently they've not got enough resources. Let's just go through them all. Let's give them some salvage. And let's see here. Oh, they've got rid of the symbols. That's going to be a bug. Give them some of this, and give them some of that. Let's see. Give them some of this. A singular cryptographic alloy. Yeah, maybe not. Let's give them the Death Knight ampules, that'll be fine. And down to here, let's see what have I got spare. Infected Palpators, that's fine. And Bile. Hurricane Typhus, I apparently have a few of. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. There we are. Now he's fed up on everything. Give me my Chroma good stuff. There we are. My plasma shall be your quickening, he says. That's definitely quickening me, yeah. Secondary critical chance and parkour velocity. Is my Chroma helmet with any other abilities? I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. So let's see. Have I got any abilities modded onto him? No, 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 no. No, I haven't done that at the moment, apparently. Fair enough. And with this crit bonus, I think I should be using a weapon that can really benefit from it. Like this one. 189.9% critical chance right out of the gate. Ooh. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Let's make it better. Have I got Arcane Avenger on here? I have not. Let's fix that. There we go. Thank you very much. Oh, this is an older build, isn't it? How old? Let me see. Can I figure out how old this build is? It's not going to be that old. I've got a max ranked vitality on there. with space, it's got a 12-pointer equilibrium. Actually, this isn't that old, is it? Oh, okay. It just feels old. It just feels old, but it's not actually that old of a build. Okay, fair enough. I'm glad you appreciate it there, Space Cadet. Yeah, I've named all of my kit guns, the secondary ones, some interesting bits. Observe, Shake Innards, Grab Satellite, Crypt Digit, you know, just variations on the original names there. These are like the budget brand versions. Hello, Toxic Coma. What's going on? We're about to wrap up on... Oh, did you see that roll speed? Wrap up on the third mission of the sortie, which also means, of course, we need to do a prediction. Let's go get this cracking. Let's start a prediction on this. What reward do you guys think I'm going to get from today's sortie? Is it going to be the Anasa Sculpt that I'm looking for? Is it going to be Endo, or is it going to be literally anything else? Grab your blue spanners, the wrenches at the bottom of your chat window, and have a look to see if you can get yourself the right prediction. You just click them at the bottom of the chat window, get in on the prediction. You can bet with 10, you can bet with 10,000, anywhere in between, or more than 10,000 if you really want to. Whoever's right, you get more. And I mean, you know, who doesn't want more spanners? Alright, Vex armor up, and there goes all my energy. Zzz. Zzz. Just blaze. Oh, look at that. Oh, no prime sure-footed. That's a problem. But this yeet velocity is going to be pretty damn substantial. It's a shame we're on this tile set of all tile sets. Oh, stop knocking me over. Because with the accelerated parkour velocity, I can pretty substantially launch myself all over the place. Because Chroma gets a double bullet jump. You see? No other frame gets that. Why have we got so many friendship doors? What's going on here? And sensing a pistol Riven? Oh well, fair do. Yeah, Chroma can triple jump, which gives him some pretty impressive yeets already. Oh. I thought this was supposed to be a sortie. What happened? Where was the difficulty? Where was the difficulty? It just evaporated. Oh, we need to go around. Well, that was a little bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it? Going through multiple friendship doors to get to him, and he just kind of falls over. This is actually a horrible tile set for this frame. How am I supposed to be yeeting around when this happens? There we go. Funny to think Chroma didn't have a passive for the longest time. Well, he had a passive. It was you can change his element, which now just got on the switch of his first because honestly it was a terrible passive. You lost 2 of your Wu lives? Weird. How did you manage that in this mission? We barely got going and then the mission was done. Alright. And I get... Well, that couldn't be much further from useful to me right now. I mean, that really couldn't be much further from useful. What? Resource drop chance booster? Oh dear. Oh dear, well that is no good. To all 13 of you who thought I was not going to get what I wanted, I hate to say it, you were absolutely bloody correct. So, yeah, enjoy your extra channel points, you cheeky little... Whatever, it happens. Did I probably from teammate controlled by Silent? Ah, if I get controlled, I probably beamed your head off. That'll be it. Yeah. I'm saying I'm surprised I didn't like Chroma more, but for some reason I'm terrible at keeping up the buffs. Yeah, I noticed the same myself. I will easily let the buffs time out. Give me a buff that I can just set and forget. That'd be great. The buffs that just time out? Nope. Nope, I just don't get into the swing of it. I just don't. What's the best frame for not taking damage? Revenant. Next question. Seriously, Revenant just ignores damage. Because I could take damage, or you could instead. And then just gives the enemy a thumbs up as they just die. It's great. So, with that aside, it's time to grab Atlas. It's time to grab Atlas because Malak721 has requested Atlas for a run. So let's do that. Let's bring Atlas. Now, there was an invigoration for Atlas, was there? No, it's Chroma, Ash. Who's the other one again? Someone else. It wasn't Atlas. That's what I remember. So, let's do Atlas for a run. And if I'm doing Atlas, I need to have a stat stick. Because you don't do Atlas without a stat stick. You just don't. So, here's my Atlas stat stick. It's the same one I showcased in the stat stick video. And it works a charm for him. I'll say, unless you meet Violence, Violence destroys Revenant. Ah, yes. If you see that Violence is the one that's going to be appearing, get the hell away from where he spawns. His silence isn't map wide, it has a radius, so stand the hell back from him, and then you're good to go. And if he does turn off your second ability, just get away from him quickly, recast it, and stay away from him. Violence, which is one of the acolytes, will murder you if you are not careful, so just be careful. This could be the problem you have with Atlas. Ah, fair enough there, Malak. If you do exclamation mark stat sticks, you'll see my video on stat sticks, and that will give you all the information you need, not only for Atlas, but for every single frame which uses a stat stick. No, Baruch does not use a stat stick. There are many people who ask, Baruch does not use a stat stick. Baruch can benefit from the combo of another weapon, but that is not itself a stat stick. You are not modding specifically to transfer the mod stats over to another weapon in the same way. Oh, it was Mesa, was it? That's it, Zom. And you say the one frame that rewards not having a melee. I mean, I wouldn't call, what was it, 25 health or something like that really much of a reward to get rid of an entire weapon. Nah. Now, what I can do with Atlas here is go do the weekly Ayaton treasure hunt. I feel like this is a good way to go. Let's go do the weekly Ayaton treasure hunt because I need Ayatans and there's a guaranteed Ayaton. I mean, what could go wrong with that, eh? What up, Rhino Prime main here? Well, fair enough there, Duper. Fair do. Welcome to the channel. We're at 90 minutes in Mott Steel Path for Revenant. Yeah. I would be extracting at that point as well, mate. Like, it reaches a point. Is it 50? I didn't think it was as high as 50.
Hey, did you hear, Tenno? I'm turning everyone's ayatans.
Yeah, Wukong does benefit from no melee more. See, look at this. This is a weird thing about some of these stances here. Look how short Atlas has made himself. I'm practically below the dialogue box. What is this? Oh dear, oh dear. Can I do an acolyte quick video describing their abilities and what to avoid? Red Panda? Any suggestions? Best place to put them is over on the suggestions channel on the Discord. If you put it into the Discord there in the suggestions channel, not only am I more likely to actually see it when it comes to making videos, but other people can give it a thumbs up if that's the kind of video they want to see as well, pushing it up the list of videos to have done, basically. It's not a guarantee. Some suggestions over there will never get done, for some very obvious reasons in some cases. But yeah, if you have got a suggestion, that is the best place to put it, otherwise I will 100% forget it. I barely remember last week, let's put it that way. So, I'm looking for some treasures. Give me some. Gimme. Oh, actually, wait. Not now, not yet. Solo. There we go. Now we don't have some titania ruining my day. Atlas wants to punch the podium. I mean, who doesn't want to punch the podium? Or at least maybe Maru for standing all the way over there. Why isn't... I click the fast travel. I'm going to go do Maru's quest. And it lands me... What, 10 bullet jumps away? Why? Just put me there. What's the most ridiculous video request I've gotten? God, that's a question in and of itself. I daren't answer it for fear that I'll be inviting yet worse questions, suggestions. But there have been some really daft ones. There have been some really daft ones. I'm not taking the right route. I need to go up. There we go. The style set's always a bit funky. You ready 10 pros and cons? I mean, that's right up there. Or just 10 pros, like, not even the cons, just pros. And the strangest thing is, Vid, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but in the suggestions discussion channel, People have gone through giving 12 different pros for using your Rayleigh. And here's the strangest thing, not a single one of those 12 so-called pros includes the actual reason for using your Rayleigh. Not one of them. Can any of you guys figure out what one reason for using your Rayleigh has been missed out by 12 different entries? I'll tell you. Mastery points. Literally, the biggest reward you can get from something that you don't intend to use ever again is mastery points. And no one mentioned that. That's a pretty big deal. You know, that's worth 2 weapons right there. Venkid passive standing grind. It's so passive. That's a Mesa level passive. That's how passive that passive is. That's hardly a passive gain at that point. I've messed this up. But I've recovered it. Woo! Made it. Made it. Ta-da! Water, that's a decent one as well. Nice. I'm just going to loot around here as well, because why not? Yeah, I've got myself 2 Uralids. Let me see, did I buy one of them? I don't think no. Sure. I think I bought one of my Uralids, yeah. Which is unfortunate.
Multiple biosignatures detected.
Jump, thank you. There we go. Urali isn't just comically bad, she's actually bad. I don't like Urali. Her passive is about the only thing people like to talk about on Urali when trying to discuss how she is at all capable. And even though it's just, yikes. Your MR31 with everything leveled? Well, Yokizo, if you've leveled everything, that means you've also leveled Urali, which means you got the benefit of Urali. You've already got the mastery points, haven't you? So either you're not telling the truth, or you've already had the benefit. I don't know what else to tell you, mate. You've already leveled your Rayleigh. Very right there, Reese. Very, very right. Your Rayleigh fails in her own quest. Literally saved by a bunch of kids who were themselves otherwise just slaves. Yeah, her passive is the only thing she's got going for her. And you can actually just, yeah, as Zom says, you can just jump and get nearly the same amount with, Zephyr. Funny fact, you can now get even more benefit from Trinity than you can from Urali. Let's not forget this, guys. There is a new mod that makes Trinity better at Urali's job than Urali. Seriously. In fact, I'm going to showcase this for a bit. You see, I've got a build in progress over here. Champion's Blessing, ready to go. This gets all the way up to 350% when it comes to a critical chance buff, and this applies to primary and secondary, whereas Urali only applies 200% to secondary. So we got nearly double the buff on double the weapon slots. So already, that's just better. Now, you can't just press a button and instantly have the benefit. No. In Urali's case, you don't even press a button. You just walk and you gain the benefit. In Zephyr's case, you jump and you gain the benefit. For this, you do need to do a little bit of extra work. And if you don't like using Chroma, you probably aren't going to like using this. But this mod isn't as terrible as it may first seem. I'm going to demonstrate it today. I'm going to demonstrate it better in the video, but I'm going to do a basic demonstration here. A neat little trick is this subsumed ability here. Mind Control is a way for solo Trinities to get even more benefit out of this. It's not necessary. I will stress it's not necessary, but it does help you there. The other thing that will help this Trinity build is not having a Sentinel. Believe it or not, if you have a companion which tries to die, it works even better. because Trinity's blessing doesn't just heal Warframes, it also heals companions. It also heals basically any other living ally, which includes the allies in invasion missions. It includes the defectors in defection, you know, the Kavor. And it even will heal mind-controlled targets. Trinity is better than Eurali at the thing that Eurali is supposed to be good. Spectres, yep, Spectres as well. Spectres can be a bit weird because, you know, they've got a decent amount of shield behind them, so that can be a bit of a funky one. But yeah, Spectres as well. Arbitration Operatives, haven't tried it on them, but I imagine it does. It does work on... What did I test it on? Let's see, I tested it on the Defectors so far. I've tested it on the Eidolon Laws. I've tested it on the Mind Control Targets. I've tested it on Spectres. I would have tested it on On-Call Crew, but my On-Call Crewmate is actually too powerful for me to test it on. They just kill everything. Yeah. So it's a little bit harder for me to test on that one. I might need to give him a bad weapon and see what happens. It only has a function, keeping Hydroid company on the bench. Yep, there you go. That's a good reason for Eurali to exist, isn't it? Give Hydroid some company. They can cry a river together and turn into a puddle and sleep in it. As I say, once tried to put together a decent Eurali build to prove she's actually decent, it was mission doomed to fail. Yeah, I did the same thing. Is full armor strip Trinity build viable? It kind of is, but you're only stripping a couple enemies at a time, which can be a bit awkward. I personally have found it a little bit on the awkward side, honestly, Spacey there. It can work, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Oh yeah, as Zoms noticed, combat discipline as well, because you hurt yourself by killing enemies, which means then you've got something to heal. Boom. And it fits the innate polarity on Trinity, which is better than most of the other ones you can put there anyway. I mean, you can put Shepherd, but... yeah. Sure. Night Inspector will be comparing. Actually, now you mention it, Red Panda, yes, no shield gate. So, Night Inspector, Anara Spectre, they'll be along the right lines. Theoretically, yeah. Also, who's this friend request? Who is this? Slugbucks. Yeah, you're here on the stream. Accept. There you go, mate. I don't know what the maximum friends list is, but we're going to find out one day. So, let's have a look. Red Panda saying, Eurali with Gloom can work for a subsumed ability to keep active while staying on Marlena. Well, yeah, that would keep it active. Because, you know, it would just stay active. Doesn't mean it's good. Like, I mean, Gloom is just very good, but it doesn't mean it's good to put it on Eurali. As a personal preference there. So, where's a good way to demonstrate this Trinity real quick? Whilst we're also getting what we need. You know what? Arbitration time. I've got a Nova Strength bonus, Nami Scala Strength bonus. I can ignore both of those. It's Excavation. It's spicy. It's the Infested. Very spicy. But we can do it. So guys, if you would like to join in for this arbitration, and hopefully, fingers crossed, you've got some better arbitration options than me, send a message to the Kengineer. We're going to go into this. I'm going to be using Trinity. So if someone can bring something that can actually defend, that'd be great. I'll keep you alive. I'll keep you alive. Absolutely Palmer Farmer. Yep, that is one thing I will be going over in the video, is that Trinity on Eidolon hunts actually becomes even better than previously she was able to. Imagine if a nuke power became subsumable. We're close to having that, basically, with the subsume from Gorse. You know, Thermal Sunder. Gorse's Thermal Sunder is not a nuke, but it's certainly got a decent amount of power for it. You got Trinity 300% strength. Well, sorry there, Captionato. I am bringing Trinity. So, I mean, if you want to bring Trinity, you can, but then I will actually just kick you from the squad. So no, don't. Bring something else. Synth? Yeah, sure. Let's switch back to synth. Where's my synth? Trin arbitration? That sounds like a bad idea. You have Eurali 300%? I'm sorry to hear that. Yikes. Yeah, guys. I'm not going to do this alone. Or at least if I try to do this alone, I'm going to get some randos who are probably not going to be the greatest. So, come on. Send a message over to the engineer. Let's get into this excavation. Let's absolutely smash it with Trinity. And let's get some Ayaton sculptures in the process. Nami Skylar? I know, but I'm not going to use the Nami Skylar. Do I have the Nami Skylar even? Here we go. We've got Earthman. How kind sir? May I have an invitation? You may indeed. Come on in. There we go. So, Nami Skylar, do I have one? Oh, I do actually have a Nami Skylar. Okay, fair enough. Still not going to do that, though. The correct weapon is clearly Glaive Prime. Me, you indeed. There you go, Frambo. Let's bring you on in. We got a slot for one more. 1 minute plus. Well, Beard, you got to be here quick. People are signing up. Let's see. We're against the Infested. Sure. Does my Trin have Prime sure-footed? Yes, she does. Excellent. In which case then, Envoy. Envoy is just clearly the way to go. There we are. We got Beard in squad. Let's do this. I'm going to bring Firmin. Firmin should stay alive, okay? And if they don't, well, whoops. I'm going to bring Zeneric because emergency energy is good energy. Because I'm likely to mess up with my Trinity. I don't play Trinity all that often, so I am likely to mess up. Let's go do this. We have got a Lavos Urali Korra. Well. At least Korra's defending. Would I like a follow? You follow if you want to follow. It is entirely up to you on that Legend Nebula. Obviously, if you are enjoying the channel and you choose to follow, that's a great thing. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support me, if you want to get yourself emotes here on the channel, if you want to skip the adverts, then go ahead and subscribe as well. If you've got Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. If you haven't got Amazon Prime, or if you've already used it somewhere else for some silly reason, then you can still subscribe for a little bit of your local currency. Prime share footage shouldn't be too necessary since Link prevents knockdown. I tend to forget Link, to be quite honest on. Also, Link right now, if I cast Link right now, you'll notice, well, you won't notice because I've got Prime share footage, but if I didn't have Prime share footage, that would have knocked me down. But yeah. Oh, let's go grab one of those power cells. We're going to need those. Also, strangely enough, adding on mind control has changed the sound of my abilities. I don't know why this is. Because like the mind control one sounds correct. There it is. There we go. If I just mind control you, bless to heal you, and then heal you again. You see, I am currently up to a 77% critical bonus. Okay? 77%. So what I can do is I can mind control this one, heal it, and now it's 95%. This is the very important thing about Champion's Blessing that hasn't been mentioned on the mod. It doesn't just have a maximum of 350%. Recasting ability refreshes your bonus duration and adds on any new critical chance bonus you would get. So I'm now up to 95%. If I find a weakened enemy, or just weaken one for myself, not that much. Damn it. Don't die so quickly. There we go. Now I heal it, and then I get rid of the mind control again. I've increased my buff again. Let's find another enemy. Let's weaken it a bit. Let's mind control it, heal it, and then remove the mind control again. It's fine. We don't need to keep it mind controlled. I could if I wanted to. I just chose not to. I'm now up to 186%. This is why I said if you don't like Chroma, you probably won't like this build, because you do need to make sure you keep your fourth ability up. The actual buff has a slightly longer duration than the fourth ability's normal defense bonus, the damage reduction duration. You get a little bit more leeway, but not much more. If I cast this, I've got 30 seconds versus 24. And heal. Do a little bit of damage. Oh, that was too much. Never mind. That was too much. I'm up to 278% now. Predictions for a new War Quest? No idea. D have told me nothing that you guys haven't already heard, so I have nothing to offer on that side, sorry. Where is B? I haven't actually gone to B. I should probably do that. So yeah, if anyone was wondering, is Champion's Blessing actually viable? Can it be used? Or is it just, oh, well, how often are you going to be able to heal that much on people? You can constantly refresh it, and you build up its bonus with each new cast. based on how much you can actually provide to yourself. Oh, I have... The only downside of the mind control trick is that I need them to not be dead. I need them damaged, not dead. And I'm far too good at killing. Oh, here we go, he's weak. Oh, no! The drone! The drone prevented me doing what I needed to do. You bastard drones. You see, I'm up to a 283% critical bonus now. This is higher than the invigoration. And I can just keep it up. So long as I'm casting Blessing every 30 seconds or less, I keep it up. This gives a little bit more combat potential, as it were. I probably overcooked that. Yeah, I overcooked it. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. Boom. Now I've done it. I've got the full bonus. 350%. These red crits you are now seeing are not fake red crits. These are real red crits. I can now get my kit gun. If I find an enemy to do it to. There you go. And you're very right, Energy Vampire means it is actually easy to keep up. Because Trinity doesn't really worry about energy unless you are a Muppet, and I am sometimes a Muppet. Zap, kill. Oh, I would have got the other one zapped, but they died already. So yeah. Trinity's new augment is actually viable. It is actually useful. Dare I say it? It's actually well designed. It doesn't give the buff to anyone else, but then 350% unrelenting critical chance buff to every single primary and secondary would be a little bit extreme. So just having it on Trinity is kind of balanced. But that mind control trick is absolutely crucial for getting the buff up easily. But yeah, you can still use Spectres, you can rely on your companion taking damage, there are various other ways you can do it as well, and the recasting just makes it actually work. Alright, so let's keep doing digs, I guess. Let's see how far we can dare to take this. Because we've got Trinity and Lavos in the squad, those two together should make it where there's always someone alive, because Lavos doesn't die very easily. And we should be good on the whole having someone to revive us if needs be situation. Now, I'm definitely casting Blessing more often than I need to cast it. That's just me being safe. That's genuinely just me being safe about it. I would rather not go through the process of restacking. I can avoid it. I mean, fair enough, there's fair enough. I don't know, am I running Arcane Energize at the moment? I can't actually remember. I think I might have put Energize on just because I kept on being a Muppet and running out of energy. Now, the other thing with mind control is it does actually open up options for you. Options that previously wouldn't have been there. So, say for example, against the infested here, if you see an infested, sorry, not infested, an ancient healer, you can mind control that, and because this is a duration-focused build, that then means that I have myself a pretty long-lasting damage reduction bonus, on top of all the existing ones that Trinity has. I can grab this Ancient Disruptor. Don't really need to. Oh god, it just sapped all of my energy. It sapped all of it. That is not good. That is not good. I need energy right now. Like right now. Where's that enemy? Where's... I just managed to keep that bonus there. Oh, that was closer than it should have been. So that's a good reason to run Arcane Energize, because if that happens... screwed. Hey! Hey, Ice and Sculpture. Lovely. Let's just get rid of some of these guys again. Recast. Give us energy. Give us energy. Oh, it's beautiful seeing those red crits. It is really beautiful seeing those. Now, this isn't actually a high strength build. Like you say, since Trinity tends to run high strength, I don't normally go for high strength on her. We run out of energy, check near excavator. Makes sense with Core and Squad, yeah. Hello, friendly Catholic. We're currently doing an arbitration and showcasing Champion's Blessing in action. I've been doing all of this with my secondary. Let me show off the primary. Let's see. Give me a nice big cluster of enemies. Give me a real nice cluster. I want to see. Does this get much in the way of the crits? I mean, something. I was hoping for red crits, to be honest. I guess it just doesn't go that high on the Envoy. Not with this setup. Oh no! No! I let the buff run out! Shit! I let the buff run out! You run Blind Rage? I'm not a fan of that on Trinity just because of how expensive it makes Blessing. Especially with Champion's Blessing, because you want to be casting it much more frequently than before. Let's see. Yeah, I've lost almost all of the buff. I'm down to 4% out of 350. That was a mistake. So, I'm going to mind control some enemies as they are dying. And hopefully use that to buff me back up. 57%. God, there's so much happening here, it's hard to see which enemies are actually dying. %. Is there anything damaged here that I can mind control? Yeah, Brute Mother. Ah, stupid drone. Alright, is there anything still alive? Yes, the boiler. Good. And then I can weaken it again. Recast it, heal it, uncast it. Got myself to 201% before I mistimed that. It's getting there. Yes, a Garuda would work well, because you can obviously just heal the Garuda. So she'll be a very nice combination to have. But interestingly enough, I think you may have overlooked perhaps the best counterpart frame. I mean the absolute best. Because Garuda's nice and all, but she's kind of killing herself for you to unkill her. Which is... I mean, it works, but it doesn't really achieve a lot otherwise. You just get some more energy, but you're already giving her energy. Instead, you want a frame which benefits from having you heal up their stuff. Necros. Trinity's Blessing heals Necros summons. Necros can have, 7 summons at once, and they naturally lose lots of health over time. Which means it is very, very easy... Oh, I was farming him. It's very easy for you to get maximum benefit just being around a Necros for a little bit of time. Very easy. I'm just going to spam mind control and hope that I catch one that's been damaged without being killed. Oh wait, here we go. Here we go. There we go. 293. 327. Give me the energy now, please. 327%. I'm nearly at the max anyway. Get rid of the drone. Grab the Ancient Healer. Heal it. I'm at 350. There we are. Got the full stack. And you know what? Let's keep you. You're useful. I'm going to put a load of damage into you, so when you die, or when it times out, you just die. Champion's Blessing is only for Trinity, yes. It is not for the allies. It would be absurdly overpowered if it affected allies as well. You're too much of a solo to use these? So that's where my current build actually helps you out. By mind controlling targets, I can basically use the fact that I'm doing the damage to turn that into heals. Like, I damaged this ancient healer, then I mind controlled it, and then I healed it. And that counted for Champion's Blessing. What weapon am I using? I am using the Gaze Kit Gun. It is a very powerful secondary weapon. It's a laser beam, and it's got hella good crit stats. Even better, now I've given it a 350% buff. Now this is actually one of the few times where mind control is genuinely useful. It's mad. Oh, nearly lost my buff though. Nearly lost my buff. There we go. Let's grab some energy. And having mind control this ancient healer, it's going to give the damage reduction to my entire squad. Hema works well, yeah. I forgot that I also have, what's it called? Combat Discipline on this Trinity. So actually I should be able to just kill things. How do you get it? So kit guns, at least the basic secondaries, you can get those from Fortuna. So that's how you get it. Heal Excavator. Excavator doesn't get a direct heal. The Excavator gets a heal over time. Although I think he was just telling me we need to heal it. So, yeah. Yeah, healing Excavators and defense objectives does not trigger Champion's Blessing. Let's give this Leaper as much bonus damage as I can. I gave him 1,333% bonus damage. But it's still a Leaper. It's still a Leaper. Not going to be amazing. Trinity Necros Vault. Yep, that's a nice combination. That'll work wonders because, of course, Vault Shield will improve your critical damage. Trinity improves her critical chance. You put the two together, and oh baby, you're cooking with gas. Nobody thinking about Harrow? So Harrow can give you just more crit chance on top of the crit chance, and he does it in a different way. He doesn't, however, sap his health, so that doesn't work for Trinity. In fact, he heals his own health and his allies' health. That would work against Trinity using Champion's Blessing. I should probably grab one of these power cells and take it over. Healing lures should count? I believe it does, yeah. I tried testing, but I need to do some more testing, basically. My test was actually pathetic, so I need to try that again. Hello, Esprit. We've been talking a bit about one of the new augments. This is the augment for Trinity. Oh, I'm getting double drop pickups at the moment. Thank you, Smita. So, Champion's Blessing is currently giving me a 350% critical chance bonus, and as you can see, it is pretty spicy. It is pretty spicy. Oh, they're all dying. I need you. There we go. Yeah. Perma red crit? It's nearly permanent, nearly. Because I'm also using Arcane Avenger. So if that gets triggered, it's pretty nice, but I don't think it's permanent. I just got very lucky there for a bit. Yeah. Aren't those just recolored crits? Nope. These are genuine, because you can see I'm actually getting orange ones. And if I smack with a glaive... Okay, the glaive is much better than I thought, but... Oh, I see what's nerfing me at the moment. I'm currently being nerfed by my Smita. There we go. There's my red crits. And there goes my red crits. There they are. It's not quite permanent red crits, but it's very close. And you can see I've still got the yellow crits as well going around. You need to go in 10 minutes, Beard? Alright. You send a message in game. Let us know when we are departing. And we'll just leave with you, my dude. We'll just all leave together. Oh, don't tell me, did I? I looked away for too long and lost my bonus. Bollocks. Let's farm it back up again. You are alive. You get healed. Thank you. Alright, I'm up to 138. I've lost a lot of my bonus there, but I can get it back. I was mentioning earlier as well, putting mind control on has changed the sound of all my abilities. Listen to Link. It doesn't normally sound like that, does it? Like, I'm not off my rocker. Link doesn't normally sound like mind control. And like Energy Vampire as well has mind control sound in there. Something's gone wrong. Oh yeah, this isn't easy red crits. This is definitely an upkeep ability. You need to be focusing for this to work. But Trinity's always been a pretty active frame, kind of like Harrow in that regard. So if you want the most out of it, you really need to work on it. I've got unranked fetch on it? That doesn't sound right. I need to look into that. Right, anyone damaged around here that I can farm this off of? Oh, hello. 326. I've run out of energy. I've done it wrong. I've done it wrong. Give energy now. Oh, no, 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 no. Alright, now where's an enemy? Okay, I've got loads of energy now because there's loads of orbs here, but where's enemies? Oh, I'm a drone anyway. 326. 326 will do. You there. Mind control. Bless. There we go. I got the max benefit now. You know what? You can stay on my team. Actually, no. I want you. Let's power it right the way up. 1,243% bonus. There we go. Give me that toxin. So now this is giving me toxin damage and toxin resistance, which I think is pretty nice. Oh, my cat has once again nerfed my crit chance. Okay, Smeetakivat does not work with this build. Smeetakivat is constantly nerfing my crits, and I do not appreciate it. Also, I've stayed well away from the action. I should probably get back to that. The correct action, that is. Love that damage is buffered on mind control targets. Oh yeah. The same is actually true with another ability of Trinity's, her Well of Life, which is the one I've replaced. The same happens there for the whole damage stacking, which is a very welcome change. Let's just get some energy, shall we? Bless. Lovely stuff. There we are, we're back to the red crits. Back to the juicy goodness. Okay, mostly red crits. The other damage buffers will trap the target in place. True. True. Trinity build will be good with Kubro? What makes you say that? What makes you say it'll be good with the Kubro? Not saying you're wrong, I'm just curious as to what exactly you think is the synergy there. Alright, I'm already holding one. Durr. Let's go to the next location then. Build the drone on the way. Re-up the buff. Just get some energy because I can. Because they're good dogs? I mean, not a good enough reason. Frankly. There we go. Keep my buff going. And I'm going to make you my next minion. Giving it a little bit of a buff. It's not a huge buff, but it's a buff. It's only 1200%, you know. Oh, if I was still alive, I would have mind controlled it. Let me get rid of my mind control so I can... Ooh, Caustic Eximus. Don't mind if I do. Hello. Yeah, I'll have you on team. There we are. The aura doesn't really benefit us, but having it knock down the infested, that's just funny. That's a good enough reason to mind control that one. It's just funny. Oop. Happened. I found a build where Smeeta is bad and mind control is good. Meta is in shambles. Yep, basically. I mean, just look at those beautiful red crits. Ooh. And that is the last time I'm going to have the red crits for a while. I accidentally just let that run out whilst talking about it. Card? Alright. Well, let me build those stacks up again. On 18%. And that just instantly died. I'm not even sure what to. Oh, come on. F's going to be the last one for Beard? Alright. You know what? I'm not going to focus on rebuilding up my crit stacks then. Red crits. Not necessary, but cool. Too right. It's all about the actual damage it's doing, but I already do loads of damage. So being able to do more damage, well, that's just great. Grab you. Heal you. There we go, 95% on the crit. 155%. Blast, I lost it. 155, that'll do. Also, I just spent all my energy. Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep doing this? Alright, there we are. We are done. Let's get out of here now. We're done our bit for Beard. Overkill's underrated? Maybe not. Going for a Vaporwave theme on the HUD. Very nice. I can imagine that looks pretty damn sweet, yeah. Did I hear about the glitch in which a Razer Gamer mouse would allow Wukong to summon infinite celestial twins? I did not hear about this glitch, no. There we are. Oh, hello. Iron Amber Star. That's also useful. I will take that. Gonna maintain my buff, even though I don't need to. 156%, it's not even halfway full, but I'll keep it. There we are. Alrighty. There we go. Now, through all of that, our actual rewards don't seem to be all that great, to be honest. If I'm looking at this correctly, I got one sculpture. 26 minutes for one sculpture. Now, I know that's just a bit unlucky, but yikes. One? I mean, come on now, game. You can do better than that. Also, I've maxed out my Loka. Let's just grab a relic pack. I don't care. There we are. I was going to say, I just got the form and it's pretty good. We've been telling you. We've been telling you. It's a great weapon, isn't it? It's a great weapon. Beard, Murphman, Frambo, thank you very much for joining in on the squad, guys. GG's all around on that. Could have been worse, no sculpture? Well, I mean, yeah, it was possible, yeah. Let's see, the next one has actually changed itself over to a survival. Ooh. Ooh. 300% strength vault. Ooh. On a survival. I don't even need to focus on things. Ooh. Well, I mean, I just have to, don't I, guys? Like, sod the augments. This is a 300% strength vault happening. Ooh. I want in on that. I want in on that. Alright, well, guys, let's make this happen, shall we? Let's make this happen. First of all, Vault. Not Vault, Vault Prime. Here we go. And don't do it, the drones. I fell to this trap with Titania too many times. Here's the thing. The drones aren't going to stop me from casting speed. That's going to be the fun of it. And I can dispense of a lot of this stuff. I can focus on a build where I don't build in strength. Because I have strength. This is great. All right. I could do power donation. Okay, that might be overcooking it. Let's not do that. Let's see though. What can I need to go for? Just to get us started here. Growing power for even more strength. Do I mean, I just have to, don't I? I just have to. Max range. Oh, you know it. You know it. So, not narrow-minded. Overextended. That goes on to here. We got stretch and we got auger reach. Cutting drift. We'll see if we got room for you in the end. We'll see if we got room. This is already a nice bit of range. Next up, I would also like to get in some duration. Put that into there. A lot of energy is always a good idea, so let's get prime flow in. Bam, there we go. My defense is pretty much going to be capacitance, so let's put that on here now, so we got that ready. Do I want either of these? I don't really. I mean, actually, Shock Trooper. I could give a lot of electricity bonus here. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let me see with the rest of the build. I'll see if I want to go for that in the end. Arcanes as well, gotta remember about these. Energize, yep, there we go, easy peasy. Avenger, yep, there we go, easy peasy. I think actually I want adaptation to help keep me alive there. That, that makes sense to me. And I probably want Rolling Guard, but unfortunately I'm starting to look at this and I'm like, oh, where am I going to put it? So I can do that, because I would like that extra, not dying. That would be nice. So I think if I go for this, I am focusing a lot on the tank here, but that's because I want the freedom to kind of just screw around. So this doesn't need any efficiency. I should have enough energy just to screw around with this. I've got the duration up a bit. Is 15 seconds enough? 15 seconds is enough. Why not more speed? Because you see, I've got a 300% strength bonus waiting for me. This is going to be 340%. I don't need any more speed. Sprint speed, Exilus. Oh, but you see, I've got no capacity left. I mean, how much does it cost to put in Rush? Oh, God. Oh, God. Yikes. Yikes. Speed drift? What would I replace for that, though? What would I replace for that? Here's the problem. What's the 12% sprint speed, 30%? It's not a lot, but I don't really want to be sacrificing my tank for this, honestly, because doesn't movement speed decrease enemy accuracy? Moving around does decrease their accuracy, but I'm going to get a lot of that from this anyway. The thing is, adaptation is a massive bonus to tank, because it means I'm actually reducing the damage from the hits that do get through. And Rolling Guard similarly is a massive bonus because I can just clear my statuses, I can avoid dying if I basically run out of shield and energy at the same time. This is a backup defense, and a very, very powerful one of that. I do feel like it's overall a good choice because I've not got any health mods here. Now, I think without forming this is as good as it gets. Armored Agility, that's a terrible choice. I have 300 health and 125 armor. Armored Agility would be doing me sweet F all, quite honestly. I could take it off here for Auger Reach. Is that a D slot? Actually, it might have been a V slot, wasn't it? Cross the ends, just so I don't lose that. Yeah, it's a V slot. So Armored Agility wouldn't even go into there. I'll be removing something else. No, that would be terrible. Don't need Rolling Guard and Adaptation. So, with the adaptation there, that is for tanking through the shields. If I run out of energy, if I mess up on the energy side of things, Rolling Guard is there as a protection against that. Rolling Guard also protects if I get magnetic procs, anything like that. Can you just right-click to remove? I didn't want it to jump down the end and lose it, friendly Catholic. That was why. If I just right-click this, I then have to go find it again. Yeah. Is Nezra Squad? I'm basing this on running with myself. I'm not basing this on relying on anyone else to keep me alive. I can form and still do the RB. I know that. I just don't want to form her for a meme, to be quite honest. I don't want to form her for a meme. As much as I could. No, I'm satisfied with this, honestly. I am satisfied with this. There are ways I could make it more powerful, but this is still pretty damn good as is. Quite frankly. There's a possibility of throwing Spellbind from Helminth. Well, see, Spellbind would be replacing Rolling Guard, but Rolling Guard is there for when the energy runs out. If the energy runs out, where's Spellbind? You know? Doesn't quite work in its favour there. And the duration's not that high to make it just forever. It'll be too much of a risk. No, I'm satisfied with this. I'm satisfied. We don't want to die, so I've got enough on there to make sure I don't die. Now, because I have no Prime Sure-Footed on that build, I do need to switch off of the Envoy. I'm going to go for... I think the Foreman is probably my safest bet here. And we'll stick with the Observe because the Observe is just great. So is Glaive Prime. Yeah, I'm satisfied with this, and as a result of not having super duper hella mega crit bonuses, the Smeeta can actually stick around. Oh, Zom, you said I'm tempted to reform my Trin's Aura slot for combat discipline. Yeah, Zom, I used an Aura Former on her. Seriously, I put an Aura Former onto it. I had one sat around, so I did it. No fashion? Oh, for crying out loud. You guys really care that much about fashion. Alright, alright. Well, seeing as you're going to whine about it, rather than say, hey, Ken, would you mind doing the fashion? Or, hey, here's some bits, would you do the fashion? Because you're just going to whine about it, this is what you get. Tentomisic, Friendly Catlick, I dedicate this to you. There you go. Fashion. If you wanted better than that, you shouldn't have fucking whined about it, should you? Well done. That'll teach you to whine in Twitch chat. I am not here at your beck and whim. I'm here at the beck and whim of those who subscribe and use bits, but that's something different. Watermelon? Yeah, this is the whack frame. And for those of you who don't understand that, shame on you for not watching my Friday streams. This is the whack frame. You leave for 5 seconds, now you have bleeding eyes? It's not that bad, it's not a fairy Grendel. Form for Sure-Footed and get Affinity during arbitration? I probably should. But if I form, will I actually get Prime Sure-Footed on here? Well, I need more than one. Might need more than one. I definitely need more than one, because my option will be to lose Augur Reach. Which I could do, but... Nah, it's not that important. I'm fine as is. Let's do this. Alright guys, so we're going to be going into the next arbitration now. It is a survival. It is against the Corpus. If you would like in on that, send a message over to the Kengineer here in game. The way you do that is very simple. /W, the Kengineer. I always do would like to join for the arbitration. Also, beard is great. So you send that message over, the /W, the Kengineer, and then that message, or something similar to that, and I'll invite you into the squad. Fairy Grendel's better, at least I put effort in to make it look atrocious. Vault don't care. Put me in, there you go. I'd like to join, there you go. I think I sent the invite, there we are. Also, with this update, we got this menu here. I like that the buttons are bigger. I'm curious as to why the theme is blue. But I like that the buttons are bigger. Also, beard is great. Yep. Beard is indeed great. He's not even seeing that right now. Beard is great. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. We got the full squad. We've got a Nyx Prime, a Gara Prime, a Nezha Prime, and a Volt Prime. Ah, this is just wonderful. This is just wonderful. Let's go do this. I actually like this Watermelon Volt. Can we keep him? Until I decide to get rid of him, I'm keeping him. I don't use Volt that much anyway, so it's just going to keep on coming up from time to time now. Frame must be level 30. I thought that was removed with the latest update. The latest update has removed the frame requirements from level 30 and higher players, so 30 and 31. Because I went into a sortie with rank 0 Zaku earlier today, on this very stream. I'm pretty sure it's the same for arbitrations too. It doesn't work for any level below 30 because, well, you're just not 30, so it's all or nothing. You gain it at 30. Which is pretty nice, because you are true master, so it makes sense that the true master isn't gated from going into high level stuff. I say high level, mid level. Speed! Everyone gets the speed! Oh, I'm getting stuck on things. Ah! I am Titania now! Alright, okay, let's start killing things. Oi, you. Stop ruining my day. There we are, thank you. Whew. Still need to reach level 30 once before you can enter? Yes, it's after you've formed a thing. Not before. Run! Oh, this is great. It's also great if you melee, because that attack speed, you know what Glaive normal attacks are like. So, if I'd have gone for a melee build, I haven't. I've gone for a Glaive is awesome build, and, you know, Glaive is awesome. Zap! Oh, that's beautiful. That is just beautiful. They can't handle the speed, backflip to drop the buff. That is true. And in case you don't know how to do a backflip, aim, hold backwards, and roll. That's how you backflip. Aim, hold backwards, roll. Also improves the reload speed? It's true, yes. Unfortunately, both my weapons are batteries, so I'm not getting that benefit, really. It's reducing the recharge delay, and that's about it. IRL backflip tutorial? You are asking someone who YouTubes for a game. What makes you think I know how to backflip, let alone can do a tutorial on that? I have the athleticism of a grape. Sometimes if you have too much speed, melee bugs out. Well, that's just another reason guns are great. Guns just go burr. Or bzz, as is the case of lasers. Allies benefit? I know the allies benefit as well. I just don't care about that. I mean, yeah, allies are great that they get the benefit as well. It's wonderful. I'm such a team player. Speed! I'm just going to go run over to this because I want the loot. No, screw you. You do not know. No nullifiers on my game. Alright, now we can do this again. Out loud. Okay, these drones are actually more disappointing than I thought they would be. Some more speed. Oh, look at that. This is just beautiful. Blue Waffle has died. Well, with a name like that, good bloody riddance, I think. Good bloody riddance. Guys, is MR30 doesn't care about people below MR30? There are people below MR30? I thought they were just children down that level. See, MR30 is when you actually get access to the Duviri paradox. We're not normally supposed to talk about it, but this is when you become, you know, the adult Tenno. MR30, that's when you become true master and you upgrade from the kids all around you. I just have creator mode turned on so you don't actually see the adult Tenno. Yeah, totes my goats, that's how it works. Catch up Gorse. He wishes good. Don't trash talk my cat. Don't name your cat Trash then. I mean, I thought that went without saying, you know? Oh, yikes. Yeah. This is actually a little bit hard to control. Just a teeny tiny bit hard to control. And I love it. I love it. I'm not being efficient and I don't care. Speed is king. Also, that ability works well. Now, it seems that all the damage stats are holding up pretty nicely, and someone has brought a raw buff as well. I just noticed I had 81% raw buff. That's nice. How fast do I reload? Unfortunately, I'm using batteries, so I don't know. Let's have a look a moment, real quickly. Abilities, reload buff is 59.5%. That's not as much as I thought it would be, actually. That's not as much as I was hoping for. Whatever. Speed them Firewalker. Oh, that would have been juicy, yeah. That would have been juicy. Just status cleanse fire 10 kilometers long. So, let's grab that. Yeah, I did expect more. And reload speed buffs, they aren't as amazing as they seem, because 100% reload speed, for example, doesn't mean you reload instantly. It means you reload twice as fast. So reload speed buffs are actually really underwhelming. Hello, Zamazade, saying, hi man, I love your videos. I appreciate it, my dude. And welcome to the Twitch channel as well. Good to have you here. We're currently enjoying a massive speed buff from Zolot, because I've got a 300% strength buff in this arbitration. And it is glorious. Except when nullifiers try to ruin my day. Glad someone other than a very select few are making actually real good informative Warframe content. I'm glad you enjoy it. I know that there are some which don't focus on informative or don't really give the most informative stuff, but at the end of the day, there's different creators for different things. And quite honestly, you're going to come across some creators out there who are bad as well. It's not like YouTube just sets a filter. You must be at least this good to upload a video. Anyone can. And some are just going to be bad. I'm glad you don't think I'm one of them. Also, Ayatan! Yay! No, 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 wait, no! Oh. Let's try that again. Oh. Let's try that again. There we go. Getting stuck on things is... My pets! My pets! Damn. If only I had the Parazon mod for reviving my pet. That would be great right now. Whoops. Actually, I'd only do Sentinels anyway, so double whoops. Ah well. I don't know where the enemies are now. I have no enemy radar. I have no loot radar. I will just have to feel for where they exist. That's what I get for getting stuck on map geometry. Yep. I'm a scrub officially now. And that's true, but sometimes I honestly feel like I'm being tricked. Okay, I'm not sure I understand. Fair do. Fair do. Where is everyone else actually? Where is everyone on this map? It says there's two people that way and one person that way, and I'm just kind of like stuck in the middle. There's a lot of old obsolete information on YouTube. Well, there's some obsolete stuff on my channel as well, absolutely. I mean, there is no obligation to keep stuff up to date. If people choose to watch older videos and take them as gospel, that's kind of on the person watching the older videos. This is one of the reasons why YouTubers will revisit a topic semi-frequently over the course of, say, a year or two. Because it's the only way to ensure it is the most up-to-date stuff. That is easier. Already done most of the research. It is the way to make sure viewers like yourselves get the most up-to-date information. I will search for, say, railjack turrets for 2021 to make sure I have the updated turret information, that kind of thing. Having no enemy radar is really weird. Just gonna have to zap and see where the damage numbers pop up. You just mean trying to tell the difference between good and bad information? As Warframe is a game where knowledge is power? Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Warframe is a game where knowledge is power. When it comes to telling between good and bad information, if you're looking to YouTube for that information, you can't. It is a serious downside of YouTube. All I can say there is look to the comments, look to what people are saying in response to it, and test out what is suggested for yourself, if you can. Test it out, see how accurate it is. If it's accurate, if it helps you, that's someone to listen to. If it's not accurate, that's someone you don't subscribe to. That's someone you put a dislike on the video. I know the dislike button is being changed, but now it's still there. That's something you put a dislike on and just, you know, kind of roll with it. Does the Glaive get crit damage boost when thrown through a shield? I don't think it does, no. Do Gunblades benefit from the shield? I think that does, though, yeah. See, Glaives, you throw the weapon, and then it does its thing, whereas Gunblades shoot the projectiles, which are the damage themselves. Volt Shield is a bit weird, yeah. For being able to tell if the tutorial is garbage, look to the comments. You can still look to the comments. Don't worry about, oh no, I've clicked through to the video, now I've given them a click. YouTube doesn't just track clicks. In fact, YouTube will push a video down the list if someone clicks through, watches the tiniest bit, and then leaves again. So if you click through, pause the video, double check the comments, are people happy with the video? If they're not happy with it, go somewhere else. But the uploader can delete comments? Oh, the uploader can indeed delete comments. If the uploader is small enough that they have got enough time to delete all of the negative comments, and petty enough, I mean, there's not a lot I can help out on that side. Nothing can really help out. It comes down to just, again, subscribe to the creators that do help. Look for the ones which help you, and then just follow their stuff. Follow their recommendations. But yeah, ultimately, the removal of the dislike button is still a bad thing. Absolutely. Removal of being able to see the stats there. There's not a good reason for it. I've not heard of a good reason so far. The same is true for a lot of places. I can understand not wanting to see dislikes if you're on social media and, you know, you put all your self-worth into it. But that's a mental health aspect, which is anti-user. If a person doesn't want to see the dislikes, well, they should just turn off their own personal ability to see the dislikes on their own content. I know that some platforms have introduced that for mental health reasons. Taking away information just because some people feel sad about it? No, sorry, that's not good enough. Find other ways to make social media not so mentally destructive. The negative comments are still going to be there. The lack of views are still going to be there. There's still plenty of reasons for people to get upset. Imagine Amazon removing ratings? Yeah, basically that. Oh wait, it always does. But basically that, yeah. Or is it so people can't criticize the videos that are just endless sponsorships ad fuel? So that is not a good reason, Rhythm of Silence. That's a reason, it's not a good reason. So I would strongly disagree on that. Oh shit. I didn't think it would spawn on that side. Let's do this. Hall of Ascension in the middle of an arbitration. Bam! Perfect. Now we just have to be very careful not to die to this. What's the best method for farming Argon crystals? I would say take Limbo, or Zaku if you have them, probably Limbo. Go to the capture mission in the Void. I believe it is called Hepit. Or it might be Teshub, one of the two. Has this one already been done? Can't tell. Hey! And then you just explode your way through the map. Yeah. You just explode the map, run through, go to the end. You'll get Argon crystals along the way. Hepit is it? Yeah, there we go. Whee! Alex. I might shoot me. Tricked him. Haha. Yeah. Limbo is the earliest frame you'll get that is most suitable for it. He's a pretty early frame to get. I highly recommend him. Explode. I will show you after this mission, Tree Blight. If you're not sure what I mean already from that, I will have to show you after this mission. So, once we get out of the mission, just ask again. Alright, which of these still needs doing? I think it's this one? Yeah, it's this one. Come over here. Come over here, you coward. Oh wait, someone got it. I might have got it by accident. Yay! Repano saying, I'm glad I discovered your channel. I follow other YouTubers for informative Warframe, but your presentation style just works well, so keep up the great work. Thanks, my dude. I know I don't put out videos as often as a lot of other creators. I literally put out a video a week, and that is part of the time it takes me to not just research, but then actually put the videos together. And also part of it is because of where I live. It's not a very quiet area around here. You don't hear it so much on the Twitch stream because we got a load of stuff just going on generally, and it is just a little bit rougher anyway. But during the day, recording stuff that doesn't have a load of background noise is actually very difficult. We got thin windows in this place here. The owner of the house isn't changing them anytime soon, so that also slows down production. And I focus on that. I don't want to leave random noises in if I can avoid it. That does substantially increase the amount of time it takes to make the videos to the style I like to have them. I'm glad that you do appreciate the style I go for. Equinox is semi-decent for breaking containers, not as good as Limbo's 4. Yeah, Equinox is objectively worse than Limbo, and you get Limbo sooner, which is just why I don't recommend Equinox for it. Especially for Argon crystal farming, you don't need the high power of Equinox anyway. With Limbo, you just go pop. Just pop, basically. It works. We're going to 20. Yeah, let's go 20. We'll go to 20 and then dip out, do a reset. We don't need to go over crazy on this. Oh yeah, the Equinox farm can be a bit rough, absolutely. Although, as I covered in Longest Farm, she ain't the roughest. There's quite a bit nastier than Equinox out there. And for those of you who find that the farm takes a lot longer than I described in the Longest Farm video, get good. Simply. Just kill the boss faster. You're taking too long. But that's about it. Don't recommend a newbie getting all 6 Equinox parts from that boss. Actually, it's 8 parts. Because you also have to get the aspects as well as the neuroptics chassis systems for each aspect. Yeah, it's even worse than 2 frames worth. So to build, to build Equinox, you need to get the chassis, systems, and neuroptics twice over. So that's 6 builds. You then need to build the aspects, 7, 8 builds. And then you need to build Equinox itself, 9 builds, but wait! To build Equinox, if I recall correctly, you also need a former. I believe so, anyway. Which means it is 10 blueprints to build an Equinox, versus 4 for your normal frames. 10! Don't forget, ask this a lot, where's my name come from? So, my name actually comes from the fact that my real name is indeed Ken. And as for the engineer bit, it came around from a series of gameplay on Team Fortress 2, which got a little bit punny. We were naming everything some variant of our names or a pun therein, and so I played the engineer class. I was the Kengineer. And that's how it's ever stuck. I am the Kengineer. Builder of things. Loader of teleports. And cute little guns. And otherwise just a pun name. I am the Kengineer. That's where it comes from. Your name's stuck because your friends mixed your name with a certain word. I can see where that one is. And technically that's basically the same as where my name came from, but yeah. We'll just keep calling you Reese. We'll stick with that for now. Being good is not that useful for farming frames. It's much better to be lucky. No, it's much better to be good. Because if you're bad at the game, you're slow at doing it, and so you're reducing your number of RNG attempts. So someone who is actually efficient at doing the game will get those frames faster than someone who is not efficient, RNG aside. I can run most missions faster than the majority of people who are trying to actually farm the frames are. But that's because I've got all the skills and gear behind me to do them quickly. And I will get the frames faster than those people as a result. Alright, let's head towards extraction. We've got 30 seconds. It's going to take me about 10 to get there, isn't it? Maybe not that quick, but... Speed! Oh, bollocks. Yeah, if I get stuck, it's not going to be that quick, but speed! Where's my exit? Where's my exit? It's up. Wait. Actually quite far to this exit. I didn't realise it was this far. There it is. Oh, just in the nick of time for 20. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Survival's a great equalizer. Well, yeah. Yeah, survival is the great equalizer. The only thing there is just, you know, the ease of surviving. You can't do survival faster, yeah. My name's all my backstories. Yours just a RuneScape randomizer. I mean, not everyone can have, you know, vaguely interesting backstories to their names. I mean, just hitting a randomizer can lead to interesting stuff in itself. There's a YouTuber, for example, A Musty Cow. His is a randomized username. And he just kind of went with it. And now he's one of the most well-known Rocket League YouTubers, so go figure. And then there's Beardface, wearing a beard on his face. Yup. Yup. And we got another 2 sculptures. Cool. Not a lot for 21 minutes, but there's another couple. There's another couple. And we got some Vitus Essence. We're getting there. We're getting there, bit by bit. I'm going to drop squad, and let's go have a quick peek as to what I can spend that on, basically. Esprit, Hot Air Pastry, Violent Phoenix, thank you very much for joining in on that there. Did I not have a sigil on? Oh, dear. That shows how much I use vaults. I haven't even got a sigil on. Head straight down to them. Limbo Argon explode? Yes. In fact, let's do that right now. Never mind, we're going there. Let's do that whilst we're down in the relay. I'll show you what I mean. Absolutely. Let's just quickly... let's do this straight away. Let's do this straight away. So, we head on into my arsenal here. Let's go grab a Limbo. I have Limbo Prime, but normal Limbo will do this just fine. And we head on over to... which one was it? This build, isn't it? Yeah, I think this is the build. Alright, so... what we're looking at here is the Bubble Nuke. All of it is focused around this ability here, Cataclysm. No other ability matters to this. It is max range, or at least as much range as I can get onto this. Maximum efficiency, which is actually more important. To help me out, I've got Prime Flow for loads of energy and preparation, so straight away I go in, bombs blazing as it were. But if you don't have preparation, if you don't have Prime Flow, normal flow will do fine. You just pick up energy in your usual ways. Limbo Prime especially can do this because the Death Orbs in Void missions will give him 250 energy anyway. Loot Radar's a good addition. Loot Radar can be a good addition, but that's not really the focus for this build. You see, we're just kind of blapping large areas. To make this all work as well, Natural Talent is a huge benefit, because that allows you to cast things twice as quick as usual. Well, not quite twice as quick, a lot quicker. It feels twice as quick. Sprint Boost is basically just to get around faster. Firewalker, just to get around faster. Arcane Consequence, just to get around faster. Because that's going to give me more sprint, this gives me more bullet jump, this gives me even more bullet jump. And that even gives me sliding, as well as range. It's all about moving quickly. You'll notice there is nothing here focused on dealing damage. There is nothing here focused on defending, because the low-level mission you don't really need to. What's the range on Cataclysm? On this one, it is a 40-meter radius. To give you an idea as to just how big a 40-meter radius is, I believe that... Let me think here. I believe that your affinity radius is normally 50 meters. So you think of how far away a player has to go from you before you stop gaining EXP from them. It's almost that range, and Limbo can cast it at any distance. He chooses a point anywhere he can see, and the bubble forms on that point. So you can just look around and blappity blappity blap everywhere. So I'm saying, okay, hear me out. On the combat discipline build, we run Bleeding Dragon Key, so each individual kill is a higher percent of total health. Zom, there's an issue with that. I run Vitality on the build, so there's no point having Vitality there if you're going to bring it down again. Secondly, I wouldn't recommend dropping your health too much, because it just takes a little bit of toxin to get through and you're gone. Or just being a little bit careless. If you get a big multi-kill, you're gone. It's a bit risky. Nice idea, but it's a bit risky for what it achieves. The mind control trick, I feel, just works more safely, more effectively, and gives you more options, rather than just throwing away health to try and get the bonus faster. It's a nice idea, but nah, I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, this build is very good for getting Argon crystals. It is very good for hunting for ayatans. We'll be onto that in a bit. It is very good for going and finding Syndicate Medallions, because they appear on the map as well, so you can use the minimap for that. That's where having... that's where having the loot detector does help out some. But yeah. The main thing with this, I've not gone for the absolute maximum possible range. You'll notice I haven't got Augur Reach on here, and that's to be able to fit in the other mods with the polarities that Limbo Prime comes with. Because having that efficiency is crucial, and so that's why we've got two mods working towards efficiency. Having natural talent, that is pretty damn crucial, and V polarities don't lend themselves to an Augur Reach. Instead, I've got a little bit of range and just a bullet jump speed. But yeah, this is what we mean when I say just explode. I'll do a mission of that in just a moment. Once I've had a look at this honor store, what can I purchase? I have got 42 essence. That's not actually as much as I was hoping for. Not as much as I was hoping for. And I can't even get the sculpture. Yep. That's a thing. That's a thing. You know what? I'm just gonna not purchase any of this then. Is it worth farming Syndicate Medallions for the upcoming event? Do I know how available IO will be? The IO drop rates have not yet been announced. The update is coming out in 2 days' time, so I believe we should have more information on that day. But to my understanding, we've not been given the information as to how frequent it is just yet. I am assuming they're going to be replacing the relics in the relic packs, where we would have got the vaulted ones, with the Ire instead. I'm assuming that's what they will do. But I don't know how much Ire, I don't know what the rates will be, so we don't really know yet. Zaku is kind of better for popping the map, yes. What I don't like about Zaku's pop, well actually they've fixed one of the pops. The first thing that they've fixed is that it used to be when you recast his fourth ability, sorry, their fourth ability, I get the pronouns right. When you recast Zaku's fourth ability, it used to be that turned it off, and then you had to cast again to turn it on. They've changed that now where casting turns it on and hold to cast turns it off. But that's a little bit faster, so that's a bit nicer. The other issue with Zaku's fourth ability, which hasn't changed, is that it only damages enemies in line of sight, whereas Limbo's bubble will damage enemies anywhere within the bubble. You still pop all the crates with Zaku everywhere, but you don't damage the enemies the same, and I just find that a little bit more irritating. I like it in the low-level mission there, where Limbo's bubble pretty much kills every single enemy. You just cast it and they're dead. Don't even have to see them, they just cast it and dead. But yeah, Zaku is a better choice for that one once you've got to that tier. But I've set up my Limbo for it. He's got a build, and it's about the only thing I use him for these days. That's why I keep him for it. Let's do a demonstration. Let's do a demonstration on how this works for the Argon crystals. For any of you curious, and make sure you do bring your Smeetakivat, mine's called Firmin. It's not always going to give you the benefit, but when it does, it's a good benefit. This is the mission you want to do for Argon Crystals. There are others, they are worse. This is the mission you want to do. You can do it on Steel Path if you feel like flexing, but I wouldn't do that. It's not necessary. You're not going to be hanging around long enough for an Acolyte anyway. And you see, this is basically how the ability works. You blap. Sometimes things survive, they don't survive for very long. Just blap your way through, which kills enemies. With the exception of the capture target, you do have to shoot them. It just won't do enough to them. And then pay attention to your minimap to see where there are loot piles worth picking up. I wouldn't go for just single loot piles, you are wasting efficiency, where you can just go find a whole room full of them and bullet jump through it. You see? Arcane Consequence is triggered by Limbo's bubble. This explosion will allow you to get those extra fast bullet jumps and rolls. Oh, forward dashes as they are for Limbo. You can see the increased speed with which I'm actually going around this map compared to normal bullet jump gameplay. It doesn't always proc it just has to decide that it hit the enemy on the head for it to count. It's not perfect. But that's where Firewalker comes in as well to also give me a bullet jump bonus. Where's the Golden Instinct? I haven't put it on to this build at the moment. I need to put it back on, because I took it off for some other testing I did for a previous video. I do need to put that back on. You don't need Golden Instinct when it comes to Argon farming. You shouldn't be wasting your time on Golden Instinct when you are Argon farming. So you're just going to quickly grab the loot here and then bounce out, head towards extraction. This should get you an Argon Crystal around about every other mission, because sometimes it's just stingy and sometimes it'll give you 3, 4, maybe even 5. This time I've been unlucky, and I've done this a little bit slowly, to be honest. There's a benefit of Limbo regenerating energy in the Rift. I mean, it's a terrible benefit. It's a terrible benefit. It's 2 energy per second. During that entire mission there, I would have regenerated 240 energy. 250 energy if I was in the Rift the entire time. 250 energy, by the way, is the same amount of energy. Actually, am I even right about that? 250? No, it's lower than that. Or higher than that. It's 120, 130 seconds. 260. There we are, 260 energy. That same amount I got from just jumping onto a single orb. 1 death orb gave it. 150? Nazurko, what's 150? Because that's definitely not relating to what we're seeing there. EDM? Yeah, sure, let's bring up some EDM. Boom. You know, I'm actually going to repeat that because I want an Argon Crystal to drop. Is it here? There it is. I want the Argon Crystal to drop. Yeah, fair enough. Newer players, it can make the difference. It can make a difference for the newest of players. But if you're looking to farm Argon Crystals this quickly, you really should just be setting your gear to make it actually work. The main thing is, as I say, these guys. Jump on it, 250 energy. Works for any Prime Warframe. Alright, let's blap. There are other loot piles nearby that I have just skipped, because it is faster just to keep going. If there's a decent amount of them, sure, go for it. Overall, like, a whole room's worth here. Yeah, that's good. Oh, would you look at that? There we go, Argon Crystal. Ordinarily speaking, just keep going. Blap the enemies, and that's where having the ability to kill them without line of sight works. Otherwise, just keep blapping. The only thing that will really survive are these heavy gunners. They take a few of these low strength bubbles to pop. Okay, and now we've got a exterminate. Alteration of the mission. That's fine, that happens. We just blap. The blap still kills. Except for heavy gunners. They survive. There's another Argon crystal. I didn't even see where that one came from. I just got it. Okay, that's that enemy dead. You're very welcome there, Tree Bright. Have you got us needing a round of applause? I just give them a cranial inspection, because that gives me yeets. Do not underestimate the yeet. It is a great thing to have. And there we are.
Another successful mission. Find extraction.
Now, Arcane Consequence isn't the earliest game thing to get, I admit, but it is pretty cheap as far as Arcanes go, so you know, that's pretty nice. Got a form in Riven with status and multi-shot. Is that good? Sorry, no. If that's the only stats you've got on it, if it's just status multi-shot, no, that's pretty bad. The Foreman doesn't really need status. It has got decent status stats, but you don't need to be adding more status to it, so that doesn't really help it. And multi-shot, whilst multi-shot is nice to have, you've already got loads of multi-shot from Galvanized Chamber. So just a little bit more from a 2-stat Riven doesn't really work. What you're really looking for is you're looking for an elemental damage to replace one of the ones you would normally have in your build. You're looking for critical damage because it's hard to get bonuses to critical damage generally anyway. You're looking for a plus damage to the faction you're fighting if you are using hunt munitions especially. I'm looking at Limbo, not the Foreman. And if you can get critical chance is nice. It's not necessary because Rivens don't give a lot of it, but it is still nice to have as well as a bonus there. So you can see on this one, for example, I've got crit chance, crit damage, damage to Grenier. Sadly, no negative on it, which actually makes it much worse than it could otherwise be. But still, all those crit stats work quite nicely in its favour. That's the kind of thing you're looking for on a Riven. But I would really, really want a negative on this as well. Because as you can see, the bonus damage to Grenier isn't all that amazing as a result. Thought Cataclysm is the ability that all other Tenno hate. Yes, a lot of people dislike the use of Cataclysm. Not because Cataclysm is bad, but because people use Cataclysm incorrectly. If you put up Cataclysms all over the place, they basically create zones of Rift and not Rift, and if you're in the wrong part of that, shooting the enemies becomes a pain. They are visually noisy as well if you put some nasty colours on it, as you can see in the infographic it's showing us here, or the preview video I should say. It creates a lot of visual noise that's very distracting, it can be a bit annoying to look at. Bouncing people in and out of the rift is always a bit of an issue, and it used to be even worse because it used to, when combined with stasis, stop all kind of bullets, weapon fire, things like that. It just messed with everyone. So Cataclysm can be a pain. People use it correctly, it's a godsend. People use it incorrectly or maliciously, it's nasty. Looks cool as hell? Oh, it does look cool. Very visually noisy though. Very visually noisy. And I know I say that whilst also then having bright yellow energy. Yeah, not the best idea. I don't usually run Limbo. Hey, when people play Limbo and Rad Sorties, oh, there's lots worse than a Limbo and a Rad Sortie. In fact, I don't think Limbo can even stasis you in a Rad Sortie, can he? So he doesn't really do much to you in a Rad Sortie compared to all of the other frames out there, which can really ruin your day. Dreamseed saying, I love Cataclysm because it adds an outline to everything. I can finally make out what everything is and where everyone is. Dreamseed, if you're having that difficulty seeing things without an outline, you may want to try out the colorblind options. I'm not sure how effective they'll be, but you know, it's probably worth giving them a look. As even if you're not colorblind, it can still help in seeing things in a different way. So it might be worth having a look at those if Limbo's that effective for you in seeing things better. A lot of people see it the other way around. Anyone curious about where you can find the colorblind options? I don't just mean the HUD stuff. That should be in display. And you got colorblind compensation. You can see, for example, Tritonopia is very clear. To those of us with so-called standard vision, you can see the effect it has there. It's quite substantial. Compare that to none. Yeah, Tritonopia does one hell of a lot. There's Protonopia and Deuteranopia as well for other options to mess with. And you can even set the filter strength if you don't need it to be quite so mad. Yeah, there are some accessibility options to have a look at if you do have some difficulty seeing things in this game. Save changes? Nah. I don't know what. I don't think I left anything changed, but nah. My gold trim is so yellow? I mean, it's supposed to look a little bit out of this world, like it's slightly ethereally removed. That was the idea with that colour. Yeah. Basically that. Radsalty Ash the best? Oh god, that's horrifying. Yeah, don't do that. Alright, now we got Limbo here. I'm going to keep using him, but I need to make an adjustment to him. What slot was that? That's slot B, wasn't it? Slot B we're working on? No, slot C we're working on. Let's go make my adjustment. Radsalty is just 10 minutes of free-for-all. Does feel it sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah. Alright, let's do this. Gonna fuse this, replacing Banish on C. Goodbye, Banish. You're just a troll. Is my Warframe working properly? I mean, Evie. We've been streaming for 2 hours. Seems good to me. Yeah. What's the worst frame to get hit by with a rad proc? Anyone with Gloom? Oh, I could do you one better than that, Zom. I can do you one better than that. In fact, let me show you. This is the worst frame to get hit by when there is a radiation proc going around. This one is the absolute worst because of Mass Vitrify. You get hit by that, you aren't treated like an enemy. You will be frozen in place. Not only will you be frozen in place, you have no way to get out of it. They can't get you out of it. The Gara cannot apologize. The Gara cannot undo. You're stuck. You're stuck for as long as it decides that you are stuck for, and that can be quite a while. You have a Gara with a high duration on their ability. Tough. You're stuck now. Deal with it. And she'll just clap at you. So, yeah, I would say this is the worst one. Getting slowed down is nasty. Getting killed is nasty. But getting just frozen in place and watching everything go wrong around you, well, that's just horrifying. Am I speaking from experience? I'm speaking from the experience of someone who accidentally, kind of accidentally, failed a radiation mobile defense that way. Because I froze the entire squad all at once. The Mesa was stuck in place, the Vault was stuck in place, the poor Rhino was stuck in place. There was nothing I could do to fix it, they were all stuck whilst the enemies just descended and deleted the console. Now, yeah, sure, if I was Equinox, I could just delete the console myself. But there, they got to watch it happen. They got to sit there and just... what's the word? Just bathe in the knowledge that they're going to lose and it's there ready to ruin their lives. Thanks for the tip, I'll use that next rad sortie. No, wait. Friendly, no. But this is not a guide! This is not a guide! No! You're not supposed to be taking this on board. Whatever. Whatever. I can't stop you. Just don't be in my squad. I will shoot you. Intentionally. Let's switch back to going for ayatan hunting, you know? That's going to be a lot better. It's going to be a lot better. Also, Captain Crab, I learned a lot from your videos. Welcome to the Twitch chat here, Captain Crab. Welcome to the Twitch chat. I sometimes lose my words. I don't do that in videos because I cut it out. But I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Welcome. Shoot you intentionally? How could I? What I do, how I do that is I just kind of... It's pretty easy, really, Friendly Catholic. It's really easy. Honestly. Some of my viewers are evil squad mates. Some of my viewers are evil to me. You know, I'm surprised we haven't had some insane evil today, but it's there lurking. I can sense it's coming. Ah, it's coming. There it is. Zomtronic requesting Eurali as I'm about to go into a mission to go find a bloody ayatan. Okay, fine. let's go get the depressed lily pad, except I've redesigned her into something a little bit less depressed and more just sinister. Lee. Come on, gal. Let's go find an ayatan sculpture. Even say, Ken, I think you missed a word. Is Warframe info working? I've had issues since the last hotfix on Warframe. Haven't tested that today, so no idea. Do I remember the days of negative strength vault? No, I don't think I was there for them, sorry. Right, I'm not going to subject anyone else to having Euralia in their mission. And seeing as I want to go ayatan hunting here on Mariana, this is actually a perfect opportunity to show you guys it happening without any of the benefits. Just using an ordinary Warframe. Alright, Christian Dirtbag, we'll see you again at another time. Take care. Euralia that isn't anime coloured? Well, it's funny you should say that, Friendly Cat Lick. Oh yeah, as Som's already pointed out, yeah, this was based off of whatever her name is, Tornado or something, from One Punch Man. So, yeah. Alright, so, the way you hunt for an ayatan on this map, and this map is one of the better ones for it, or of Terror or something like that, if you don't have any of the benefits really going for you, is just looking on the radar for loot. Now, as you get used to the way that the map is set out, you'll know which ones can't be what you're looking for. So, like, all these ones I'm doing at the moment, they are not actually what I'm looking for. I know they're not going to be an ayatan sculpture. But if you're new into the game, you'll end up just having to check every single loot box that shows on your map to try and find the right ones. As you get more experienced, you'll figure it out. You'll figure out which ones cannot be it. It's like all of these tiles we've gone through so far cannot be ayatan sculptures because those spots always are there. We're looking for the different ones. Am I done making a video on this? I've thought about making a video on this. It's low on the list. Similarly low on the list is I could make a video about, you know, this thing up here. Y'all recognize this room? Y'all have been here a million times, right? Everyone's come through here. Why have you never scanned this then? Like, what are you guys playing at? Do you really come through this room all this time and never go for this curio? What have you been doing all this time? Honestly. And yes, it is here 100% of the time. If you ever come through this room, it is right there. Every time. Why is it there? Why not? What is it? So these are collectible things. You scan them all and you get a poem. Also, you get a nice, what's it, orbiter decoration, and you get yourself a, what do we call it? A glyph? So, yeah, it's been there every single time. Speaking of raids, the sponsor of today's video, this ain't a video, this ain't sponsored. This is all me. This is sponsored by you guys. See, when you subscribe to this channel, you are effectively, for those couple minutes, you are the sponsor. Quite literally, I suppose. If I'm planning to stay on Merlina, not using melee, does Carious Prime movement speed carry over to K-Drives? I'm going to say probably no, because when I switch onto Merlina, I do this real quickly. Yeah, right there, I've got my melee equipped. If I go onto Merlina, it switches me to my secondary plus melee, which is a specific thing for Glaive. So I'm pretty sure no, Red Panda, because you need to have it equipped. This is forcing me to use my secondary. Just because Glaive allows me to have my melee out, but not use it. So, no. Sorry, no. Not the most important part, lore? Eh. What's my favourite mission type? That'll be Disruption. Used to be Spy, now it's Disruption. It's just got the right level of dynamic for me. So, in terms of actually finding these ayatans then, they can spawn in various places. Most of your standard tiles like these don't have them in the main bits you're walking through. There are some places on this tile, I think, maybe 1 or 2 hidden spots. I can't actually remember. So I'm just going to check every single one of these loot crates, even though I know that most of these are actually just normal loot crates. This is the really slow method of finding stuff. They have ads on Twitch? Well, there is a very simple way of getting around adverts on Twitch. If you subscribe to the channel that you are watching, then when you go to that channel, you do not get adverts. Subscribing to a channel will remove the adverts for you on that channel, as well as giving you access to a bunch of cool emotes. It'll give you a lovely little blue badge that upgrades next to your name as you continue to subscribe. And it gives you access to the Twitch subscriber role on Discord as well. All of this, plus you get to support me. Help me continue to bring to you what I do. You never get ads? Why do you never get ads then, Frungy? Are you, I'm going to guess that you're not actually in a English-speaking country at that point. Wish the Demolist beeps weren't regular sound, because trying to list for those available the enemy gunfire is lame. I've just gotten used to the pitch, and I can focus on that a bit better. Ah, there it is, yeah. Twitch can only serve adverts where they're being purchased. Yo, Aria, subscribing not just at tier 1 for the first time, but subscribing for 3 months in advance. Aria, thank you very much, I appreciate it. And welcome to the channel. Thank you for being these next 2 minute sponsor, basically. Appreciate it. As I was saying, yeah, Twitch adverts, they aren't the best at actually sourcing adverts to deliver in the first place. That's why when you go to like 5 different streams, you'll have the same advert each time if you get adverts. Also, this is a great room for finding items. So, they're not very good at delivering adverts. This means that in countries where there's fewer advertisers basically active, sometimes you just won't get adverts at all. Just none. Yeah, the accessibility for disruption for the deaf is absolutely atrocious. I understand that DE don't want to make it too visually easy to just go, oh, that's where the demolisher is coming from, but it has absolutely terrible accessibility as a result. And that's not a great thing. I'm not sure on what the solution would be because I don't work in accessibility, but it's still not nice, no. Twitch does a better job than YouTube for ad blockers. Yeah, there it's different, and I think that's intentional. I believe strongly that YouTube could get around ad blockers, but it realizes that it's actually better for them not to. They realize it's better for them not to. Whereas for Twitch, they know that people are going to be here anyway. Although, I'm not sure how fully accurate that is because it's been reported that there is around a 30% bounce rate from people hitting an advert trying to go to a Twitch feed. Seriously, 30% of the time, if someone sees an advert whilst trying to load up a Twitch channel, they just leave Twitch. 30%. I'm not the happiest about that. And Twitch is constantly trying to push new features about, oh, you should be running adverts in the middle of the stream. Like, Twitch would have me, by this point in the stream, Twitch would have had me run, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different ad breaks. And those ad breaks, I hope you're really holding on to your seats for this. Twitch was strongly suggesting the ad breaks I should have run at this point be 4 different ad breaks, each 1.5 minutes long. Tell me, how many of you would still be here if I gave you a 1.5 minute advert right now? Would you still be here? Now, how many of you would still be here if I gave you a 1.5 minute advert every 30 minutes? This is still much less advertising than you get on cable television. Absolutely, it's reasonable in that regard, but unlike cable television, unlike YouTube videos, where the advert ends and then you go back to where the content was left off, here, you just miss 1.5 minutes of content. Just, nope, bye-bye. That's what Twitch wants me to do to you guys. Toilet break? Yeah, so you're not even watching the advert. Wow, it's an effective advert, isn't it? And the same as cable TV at that point. Which is why they have 5 minutes of adverts for 10 minutes of content or something stupid like that. 90 seconds of adverts every half an hour is what they want me to push onto you. That's what they recommend in my settings. So I don't do that, obviously. I have buttons waiting for me to click, and I'm not clicking them. The only time I run adverts on this channel are if I'm going to go for a quick bio break, if I've had too much to drink from a million hydrate redemptions, then yeah. I will maybe run a 30-second advert then. And even then, even though I know I'm going to be away for more than 30 seconds, I'll stick it to 30 seconds. More than that's just obnoxious. There you are, Bidface. Cheers. You'd maybe stick around to support, but probably go AFK? Yeah, exactly. I would be forcing loads of you away. If you constantly got hit with adverts, you'd be going away. In fact, I did a test with this. I did a test with this a long while back when there were far fewer viewers on this channel. I did do the Twitch recommended amount of adverts, and people complained. People outright complained that the adverts were too much on the channel. When you've got a tiny channel, I'm talking a tenth of the viewership we got here now, and at that point people are already complaining. You know it's too much. It just doesn't work for live streams. Ads don't even make that much money. Oh yeah, Twitch pays terribly for adverts. Twitch pays absolutely terribly for adverts. I can't go into the details on that. I could just tell you it's terrible. It's an absolute joke. Now, we didn't find an ayaton sculpture there. There might have been one, but Aurelia is not the right frame for finding one. And Zom has decided the next one we're going to have is Lavos, who is also not the greatest, but sure, let's bring him out for it. Whilst we're doing that, Oscalet's there, has requested some lo-fi. So let's switch to some lo-fi. There we go. I'll turn it up just a teeny tiny bit, because lo-fi tends to be very quiet. There we are. Imagine tuning into a stream while a hype moment is happening and getting slapped with an ad. Oh yeah. Now imagine getting slapped with a 90-second ad just as a hype moment is happening. Nah, it's terrible. Don't want to go through that. So, let's do some Lavosing. And I was going to go on to another mission of ayaton hunting, but Fantakiller wants to see a Steel Path interception with this same Lavos. Alright. Zom's picked Lavos, Fantakiller's picked Steel Path interception. Let's do it. Where do I play my music from? So all my music that I play on this channel here, this is Stream Beats by Harris Heller. All of it is literally designed to be on streams, royalty free, copyright free. At least copyright DMCA free. So it's stuff that is absolutely meant to be here and freely here, and that's why I use that stuff. Let's do this. Let's handle this. Now I'm not going to bring the Ferment for this. I want to bring Carrier Prime just because it works well with the way I run my Lavos. This could be difficult. This could be difficult. Let's see. Now, I'm going to take this off public because, you see, Fantakiller didn't specify I have to do it solo. Is there a... Oh, there is one! Oh, good, there is a Steel Path incursion. Good, he said any Steel Path incursion... Steel Path interception, there's an incursion. This has the highest chance of having a squad. Yes! There we are, making this as easy as I can. Ha 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 ha! You thought you had me with that. You thought you had me giving me one of the worst mission types in the game? Well, I've got you.
Your enemies have ruined fields. Use all the...
Can people join? If you want to join, just quickly send me a message in game at the Engineer. I'll bring you on in. You've got seconds to join in. Mere seconds. Because basically the mission's going to get running, you know. I'm going to go capture C first, because it takes the enemies a while to get to this platform. Right, 2 public people. Awesome. You can join via command. You can do. It's a bit wonky. And the squad's full. There we are. The squad is now full. Alright, let's get cooking. So I have got the Augment on this Lavos. This is my standard Lavos build, but with Auger Reach swapped out for the Augment. That augment is what allows my first ability to reduce all cooldowns by 4 seconds if I hit 4 or more enemies with it. You'll know I've done that because you'll hear a slightly different sound from it. You'll hear a kind of a squeal with it. That one there. So I've got 2 cooldown reducing abilities now, which allow me to spam these out quite a bit more. Ah, that did not hit enough people. Darn it. Oops, I slid when I cast that. That wasn't good. Yeah, incursions do tend to have pretty well geared players as well, which is very nice. It does make them easier. Oh, hello. There's not enough enemies in that stack, is there? Oh, there was! I got the one at the back there. Sweet. You didn't notice a different sound? Oh, yeah. Because listen, this is it without the with the normal sound. And then with the sound, there it is. You can hear the difference. That's when you know you've successfully done it. With a high efficiency build, you can get very frequent slaps like that. I found a high efficiency build doesn't actually work all that well. Like, you're casting faster, but you have to fiddle with all the different combinations all the time, and casting them, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to play, and the results don't really come through either. Because if you're in a mission where you want to be casting your first ability that many times over to be recasting all your others, you're probably up against high-level enemies, in which case it doesn't actually work out in your favour anyway. And if you're dealing enough damage to kill them, then it don't really need all that efficiency. So it gets a bit tough. 1 and 3 speed up each other's cooldowns, so the first ability with the Augment, it speeds up every cooldown, including its own, whereas 3 will only improve the cooldown of other abilities, not itself. That's an important distinction there. So, normally it has an 8-second cooldown if I do this correctly, only a 4-second cooldown. Cast this, now it's off cooldown, do that again, and I can do it again because my third ability was still proccing cooldown reductions. Do that again, there we go, pop this, do that again, and then we do that again, and we go for this, then we do that again, and we can do that again. You see? Because it's not actually on cooldown whilst it's running? No, that's not the reason, no. Because you can reduce the cooldown of something whilst it's still active. You can see this with your 4th ability. But that's not what's actually happening there. It's just the 3rd ability doesn't reduce itself, just as a rule. That's just how it works. Yeah, the Augment does allow levels to flow a bit more, certainly is more of a caster, but it also really highlights the issues with how clunky his damage infusion is, and you need to be infusing to get the most out of them. You have to be, because it's half of all your damage, not to mention a significant number of status procs. So I would like to see a change to that. Specifically, what I would like is that the damage type you infuse stays there until you choose to infuse something else. And then just make it where if you hold the same type, it would remove it. So there, it's doing nothing. They should instead make it where it removes that damage type. So it just leaves in the one you want. Or better, if you cast without an ability... Sorry, without damage infused, just use the default of that ability, double it up. It's like, my first ability has base toxin. Just give it a toxin infusion by default if I cast it with nothing else there. I still only get 1 status type, but I also then get the full damage. I don't know why that's not a thing, because that's just simple. Instead you are forced to infuse to get the most damage, and that gets clunky very quickly. infusing is kind of crucial if you want to have all of the status effects. And of course you want those status effects to get the most out of his 4, if you're not using the Cedo. How are you going to get viral infusion if it just swaps? So, you do Toxin plus Cold, and if you wanted to remove it, you just hold Cold, and now you're back down to Toxin. Is how I'd suggest it would work. Or, as I say, just default cast whichever one is there. Whichever one is based to the ability. Just make it where it's not holding back half the damage just because you're not constantly spamming different re-infusions. Because that is a lot of buttons to press frequently just to cast every one, and it's a mix between tap and hold cast that you can't really get around. It's awkward to use. And the Augment for the 1 exacerbates that by forcing you to cast more often. Because otherwise, why would you use the Augment? It's specifically the cast more often Augment. You see, if I focus on that infusion there, you then see just how much damage it does, but... oh, that is a lot of buttons to make it work. That is a lot of buttons to make that work. Don't worry, Area. You can join on a future mission if you want. It's fine. Although, actually, I'm going to be doing some ayatan hunting. That one I did intend to do solo, just for demonstration purposes. I know that A, B, and D are having trouble, but I'm just keeping C safe right now. Augment idea, element infuse is applied on weapons while active. That steps on the toes of a lot of augments. Shock Trooper, Smite Infusion, Venom Dose, and then there's the ones for Ember and Frost as well. It would be a nice idea, but I don't know how you'd balance that one without just completely invalidating those other ones. As a general ability infusion one for Lavos, what I would like is one where it randomly infuses for you. So, say if I leave this blank, you know, it's got toxin there, if I left it blank, with the Augment, it would randomly select an element to put into there as I cast an ability. Give it some other secondary benefit as well of some kind, maybe like a little bit of efficiency or something, I don't care. But mainly having that there means then it is effortless to apply all of the status types quickly. How can I get rid of Excalibur Umbra? How do you mean get rid of? How do you mean get rid of Dov, Totally Soap? Let's get rid of Angst here. There we go. Angst is gone. Yay! True right, first step with Limbo. Already got 2 Argon. Perfect. There you go. It's working for you. Let's go help out with A. They need some help over here. Here we go. Can't sell, can't feed. Well, you can't feed it because there isn't a option there. It's normal Excalibur. And can't sell. I think that's because it's a sentient creature. You monster. But yeah, you don't need to get rid of Excalibur Umbra. Just leave him in your gear. Just don't use him if you don't want to use him. Why does that sound like C is being threatened? Oh, we're done anyway. Just blap everything and get out of here. I want to throw it. There we go. Thank you, game. Something odd about the interaction between the Envoy and Glaive. It's fine. And that's the mission complete. Mission complete. Velocitus atmospheric mode just blows. Yeah, a lot of the Archguns are pretty terrible in atmospheric mode. They're just pretty terrible. Morzelon's alright. Most of them are just... You can ignore them, basically. Alrighty, well that is that mission out of the way. There you go then, Fanta Killer. And there is the Lavos for Zontronic as well. 2 requests, 1 mission. That's what we call efficiency. Hello Tito Gaming, how are you doing today? So, let's go on over to Limbo. Let's get back to what I was planning on, which was to use... Oh, here we go. Use this and go and grab some ayatans. Just quickly set this one to solo for demonstration purposes, at least to get us off the ground here. So, here's how we are going to farm it. I'm going to go down to the mission here on Earth, Mariana. We're going to do it on normal, not steel path. I got something in my eye. Let's get rid of that. There we go. And just to demonstrate just what we're looking at ability-wise, go to equipment abilities. So Golden Instinct here, I've got a 500 meter range. Now this isn't just your ordinary 500 meter range. If you see like a waypoint that says 500 meters away, this is a 500 meter sphere, whereas the waypoint takes into account how long it expects it's going to take you to go down a route. So it's even further than a 500 meter waypoint would suggest. Zom? There's to you. So that goes a very long distance. It's got a 20-second cooldown, which is not the greatest, but we're mostly using it to let us know, is there something we're actually looking for? Not so much where is it. That's the main thing we're focusing on here, and then we got Cataclysm for the good old bubble pop. So let's see if we can use this to go find an ayatan. The reason for doing Mariana, it's the second best mission for this. This is if you don't really want to be quitting out of missions all the time, because it's a really, really easy one to do. All the enemies die from the bubble pop stupidly easily. If you use Equinox, even her main will just kill things with the basic slash damage, which is another way you can do this. You don't have to use Limbo. So, let's cast this. You see, area is barren. Area is barren. Does Golden Instinct only emit a single beam? Yes. You'll see in a moment. So, area is barren. Nothing within 500 meters is of value. I've already scanned all the Carious. This is the exact reason I scanned all of the Carious, because they get picked up by this thing. So with that gone, I know between here and 500 meters everywhere, there isn't a single ayatan to be found. And with the way that maps kind of loop around a bit, there's probably not one on this entire mission. So if you wanted, you could just abort out. For demonstration purposes, I am going to actually abort out until I get that to show one. Now, someone with a little bit more time and patience than me on Reddit did a load of testing with this ability. They found that a ayatan treasure, an ayatan sculpture, spawns about 1 in 7 missions. Now, there is a single better mission than this to test this on, but this is good enough for demonstration purposes as well. If, as I say, you don't want to constantly cancel missions, or if you don't have Golden Instinct, because you can still just kind of blap your way through a Limbo. Area is barren. I want to show it with it not barren, so you can see the exact process you want to go through. I'm not actually going to use Golden Instinct much to find the ayatan, just to let me know there's one there to find, so I'm not just wasting your time demonstrating this. The Golden Instinct for any Catholic is a helmet ability. You get it at level 15 helmets, that's the very last level. This will detect and very, very vaguely show you the direction towards where various treasures are. So this includes Carious, this includes, I believe, unscanned things like Cephalon fragments, and it will show you ayatan sculptures. Aaron again. Is this more productive than arbitrations? I'm not sure. He's very itchy nose. I'm not sure. What's the first best mission? So the first best mission, just quit out this one, is actually over on Eris. It is one of the most hated missions in the game. It is Ostras. So the Infested Salvage mission there, the map is pretty small. I'm talking like, it's a little bit bigger than Hydron. So your Golden Instinct easily covers the whole area. And because of the type of mission it is, it's still eligible to spawn ayatan sculptures. Because there are some missions you've never found a sculpture on, you never will. This one, despite being really small, still can spawn them. So as a result, that is the best one because you are guaranteed to be able to scan the range out to wherever it is. And then all you do is you just cancel the mission, cancel, until it says there's one here. You go find it, you do your 5 waves, you go out. So that is the single best mission. However, I hate it. So I'm doing the second best. I'm doing the second best one. Hello, Digital Kai, saying, hope you're having a good day. Been unlucky with the ash parts grind. Oh, that's rough, my dude. That is rough. I would not want to be going through that, no. Alright, again, area is barren. Gonna quit out. I've got a really itchy nose out of nowhere. Don't know what's going on with that. And just as we're going through this as well, guys, if you are enjoying the channel, if you are finding it helpful to yourself, do consider hitting the subscribe button. If you've got Twitch Prime, if you've got Amazon Prime, that is, you can subscribe for free to a channel of your choice every single month. If you've already done that here last month, you do need to re-up it to make sure you can continue to subscribe. If you haven't got that, but you can still subscribe with a little bit of your local currency. Goes towards supporting the channel and everything I do here. And I'm continuing to find barren areas. Come on, don't do this to me. Also, Adia saying, hi, finally managed to get the correct in-game name. Got confused with double E's. Oh, I see. Dorafuma, thank you very much for your subscription with Prime. Welcome to the channel proper, my dude. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Also, we are switching over to a little bit of Synthwave from Zomtronic. Let's do that. Synthwave, let's go. How do you get plastids? There are various planets which give you various resources. If you go onto your resource drones, you can see here on Earth it gives ferrite, rubido, neurodes, and detonite ampules. Plastids appear on some planets. I'm not sure which ones they are in the earliest ones. There we go. Phobos, I think, is your earliest one. So if you farm missions on Phobos, plastids will drop here. That's your earliest one you can get them at. So if you go around the missions, have a look which ones have your one there, or you just go to the wiki and you'll see a list of them anyway. But that's how you know what resources you get from what planet. Go towards supporting the channel and putting food in Ken's mouth? I mean, literally, yes. I do content creation full time. I don't have another job at this time. I did have another job when I started doing videos, and then that job got really, really ugly and sour during the pandemic, so I left that one to focus more on this. So your support, all of you, literally is putting food on my table. So I appreciate every bit of support you guys give, honestly. And again, area is barren. What was my old job? I used to work in a call center. That was, surprisingly, it started off good. As far as call center jobs go, surprisingly good. Call center is rough, yeah. I was there for 2 years. Seriously, held out for 2 years. The first year was decent. Decent benefits to it, decent balance of work. The management was honestly damn good at the time. All the horror stories you hear about call centers, aside from the whole they're tracking you for every single second you do, that was true. But all the other horror stories didn't really apply. And the whole you can't disconnect if a customer's rude to you? No. If they were honestly being aggressive towards me or something like that, I can warn them about it, and if they continue, off you go, mate. I'll put a notice in your stuff and the business isn't going to want you back. But unfortunately, things did get worse. Things did get worse. What am I looking for, Astart Guy? I am looking for my first ability down here to not say area is barren, and that'll tell me that there is an ayatan sculpture around here. I'm trying to get that to happen. Why is Smart Numbers Man in call centers? Smart Numbers Man took the wrong degree for Smart Numbers Man, because Smart Numbers Man did a rocks degree, and for some reason didn't put 2 and 2 together that that wasn't the line I wanted to go. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it didn't go nicely for me, mentally. So it took a while to get out of that rut, and now this is me out of that rut, actually. This is me out of that rut. Could I use restart mission at the end? You're very right, I could. I believe so anyway, yeah. You also worked in a call centre for 2 years, you can relate. Yeah, it's rough. It takes a very specific set of skills. Thankfully, the job that I had reasonably paid for those skills. But Yeah, it was still rough. And as I say, things turned downwards. It turned into the kind of call centers they warn you about. So management lost their touch, they lost its charm, and quite frankly, the policies they were implementing were anti-consumer at that point. I drew the line. I drew a very hard line, and I can only give you limited details on this for various reasons, but I drew a very hard line when basically I had to tell a woman that the price that we had offered her, this was a repeat customer, the price that we offered her could not be honoured because it was actually sent out in her husband's name. She couldn't have it. If her husband was there to say on the phone, yes, it's fine, she could have it. But we couldn't let her have it, no one could honour it, we had to give her a much higher price, of like 30% higher. And the reason her husband couldn't come onto the phone and say, yes, it's fine, just go ahead, despite her being the one benefiting the entire time, the only reason he couldn't come to the phone, he died 2 days earlier. I tried for half an hour, calling through different members of management and upper management to push through that, because we'd gone through various different things before now of, no, come on, this is not right, let's work with the customer here. If he had lived just 2 more days to be able to say on the phone, yes, it's okay, she could have had it, she would have had it in her name, because we could have just moved it to her name, but because he died 2 days earlier, no, tough shit, here's the price, it's higher. Naturally, I did not phrase it that way, and naturally, she appreciated the time I took and did not choose to continue with the company. I drew the line at that. That was when it was very, very clear, no, that business has decided to forget putting the customer first. And I was no longer going to support that. That's why I quit. Other things have been building towards it, decreasing any goodwill and sentiment towards it all. That right there just blew it out of the water. So you can see why I decided, you know what? Full-time content creation sounds nice. I've missed a couple messages along the way there. Do I know where you should farm Tellurium? Yes, Tellurium you can farm here. It doesn't actually show it here, but it's basically any Archwing mission. So you see the symbol next to Sabotage there. That means this is an Archwing enabled mission. It's actually Sharkwing because it's Uranus. But these missions, you can get Tellurium. The best one I think is actually Ophelia here, because it's a survival mission. So that is a great one for farming the Grenier. That's where you can get your Tellurium the easiest, I'd say. Excuse me. I always get a little bit gassy after getting riled up. I don't believe these other ones help on it. No. So it is basically this one I'd recommend. Farm that survival, grab a loot frame to help you out there, you'll get your Tellurium. Easy peasy. That's the best way. Will I be farming anything in the Prime Resurgence? I will not be farming anything specifically too much. There are some Prime weapons I haven't got, and that'll be my main focus otherwise. Also, why is this not happening? Am I really being this unlucky? Come on. Hydrate? Sure, yeah, Esprit. There we are. Takes a strong man to come to such an ultimatum. I appreciate the respect. No, totally so. I always planned to be ready for such an action. You see, I live exceedingly frugally. It's how I'm able to do this full-time, as it were, with, you know, a 24,000 subscriber channel, and here on Twitch, a 3,000 follower channel. I live exceedingly frugally, and whilst I was working at the call centre, that was the same still. I in fact even spend less now than I did there, because I live in a cheaper area of the country. I made sure to save and save and save, so that I was not stuck in a situation where I was doing something I felt was wrong. It came up where the job was now no longer appropriate. I was now doing too much of the wrong thing. I had the savings to allow me to step away from that and take this risk. It's paying off. Slowly, but surely. Very frugally. It's just about getting there. Your guys' support has been amazing through this, especially those of you who've been here for months on end. Not to put down those of you who've only recently got here, but like, you know, I wouldn't have continued making content if there wasn't the support there months ago, a year ago. So thank you very much to all of you for helping make this a possibility. Is obsidian a rock? Obsidian is a rock, yes. Obsidian is a rock. It is a vitrified rock. Victor Profundus saying, also I've enjoyed your videos, but this is the first stream I've caught. It's nice to put a name with a face, as it were. Oh, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you here. Where to farm Hexanon? Jupiter only. Just Jupiter. I strongly recommend, guys, if you are looking to farm a specific item or resource, if it is a question which has a very simple answer that can be literally 2 words long, better than anything, go to the wiki. Where to farm plastids, where to farm Hexanon, where to farm Argon crystals, go to the wiki. Now, if you're looking for more of a guide, what is the best way to farm such and such, that's a more involved answer. I can understand not being on the wiki, but... And even then, some of those answers are on the wiki, so, you know, there's a reason I've not done videos on every simple question like that so far. I do strongly recommend have a look at the wiki if you have a basic question like that. Half the time, when I get a basic question on that line, if I do answer it, I've actually just checked the wiki first. So, like with plastids, I don't actually know off the top of my head which different planets there are for plastids. The wiki tells you the answer. Do a video on how to wiki? Come off it. Also, Beard with the 3 gifted subscriptions. One out to Bilingual Banana. Ooh, okay. One out to Futza and one out to Linda Pin. Beard, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Always generous, my dude. I appreciate it so much. And I'm again not getting the ayatans to spawn, which is a bit annoying now because I said 1 in 7 and it's being a bit of a dick to me. Yeah, this puts Futza onto their 3rd month and Lynn onto their 2nd month. There you go, Beard. Pushing people up through the tiers. How to farm resources, Necros. So, the farm for Necros... Oh wait, no, hang on. That's a joke. I caught it. Not a question, that was a joke. I caught it. 5 XP from MR16. Ah, it's rough. XP, have you done the whole steel path? Because that'll give you the XP. Just do an inch of the steel path. And Comrade Barrington, thank you very much for your subscription at tier 1 as well. Welcome to the channel proper. And enjoy your lovely new blue badge. Don't forget as well, guys, if you are a new subscriber, if you're being gifted one, or if you're subscribing for yourself, connect up your Twitch account with your Discord account. You do get access to the subscriber role on Discord, which means you get access to the supporter Tea Lounge as well. So that is basically a paid supporter only channel I have on Discord there. I post occasionally some extra stuff there, some sneaky peeks behind the scenes, maybe a choice between thumbnails. It is also the only channel, at least only public channel, which has notifications turned on for myself still. Like if you post normally in all of the Warframe main channel, the general chat channel, I don't get notifications about that. It's only in the supporter Tea Lounge where I get notifications about posts there, so it's that little bit closer connection if you do want to grab my attention that little bit faster. Don't have a good steel path setup yet, it's sluggish. Ah, you'll get there. What tea brand do I drink? I don't actually know what brand of tea we got in at the moment, sorry Reese. I just know it's an English breakfast tea and that's good enough for me. But yeah, I have no idea what the brand actually is. Okay, look, I'm not going to end this stream until this actually works. So if it's going to keep messing me around, I notice we are closing in on the end. I'm just going to keep doing this until I can demonstrate it working. God damn it. This is going to work. I just need RNG to be in my favour to spawn the Ayatan so I can demonstrate this working. I mean, arbitrations are very clearly going to be a more reliable and faster route for this, but yeah. I expect it should be a matter of minutes, not half hour or so, don't worry. Do I agree with the consensus that glacial ice is a rock due to the mineral content? Esprit, where is this consensus? Because that is a very loaded question. It's a very loaded question you got there. What is this consensus you're talking to? Who are you using as the basis? This consensus. various articles on the web. Esprit, I'm going to time you out if you do that ever again. You, of all people, should know better. You've been on this channel long enough. You should know better than that. This is a science channel, okay? We do not make arbitrary claims with loaded questions and then say my sources are articles on the web. You don't get away with that. But don't do that again, Esprit. Come on, be better than that. Be a scientist, be an engineer.
There is a large platoon upgrade.
But the interweb is magic? Yeah, and magic isn't science. So don't trust magic for science. Source, trust me, I know. Oh, sorry, trust me, bro. Yeah. That's basically what various articles on the web means. Trust me. Is ice vitrified water? No. No, vitrify is referring to
There is a large platoon upgrade.
the amorphous solidification of a liquid. Yeah. Vitrify meaning like turning to glass. It doesn't have a regular structure of any kind. Ice does form into structures. So, no. Just normal ice wouldn't be vitrified, to my understanding, no. This mission's being run a dick to me right now, come on. What's the strat here? So I'm just trying to get an Ayatan sculpture to spawn within 500 meters of me. I've done this before now, and it has worked pretty reliably. The fact that it's not happening on stream has actually been really annoying. Sorry about this, guys. I just wanted to demonstrate this actually working. And it's a 1 in 7 chance. There it is. Look at that. There it goes. All right, here we are. So this tells me there is an Ayatan sculpture on this map within 500 meters. There we go. We now have that information. Let's go do this proper. So this is how we do it. I blap the area with Limbo's bubble. I'm going through as quickly as I can. I'm just scooping through stuff. Because I know that I don't need to hang around. I don't need to focus on killing enemies. They die to the bubble. I know roughly where this can spawn. Because I've done this map enough times. This is the only room that still confuses me a bit. Because I've not checked all the spawns. So let's do this now. Okay, apparently I missed it. There we go. That's good. I missed it. It's telling me go back. It better not be pointing at this thing. Please tell me it's not pointing at this thing. Please, no. Please tell me I've scanned all of these. Yeah, it's not pointing at that. Okay, good, 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 good. There's something over here. I've not looted. Nope, I've got that. It's going to be this side corridor. There we go. I missed a side corridor. Bam. There it is, guys. So now I can just blast my way out of here. I've got the Ayatan sculpture. I don't need to hang around. I can just go. How did I know an Ayatan was on the map? Golden Instinct. The Golden Instinct ability will detect treasures within range and point towards it. It is the 15th level helmet ability, so it's the top level one. And as you saw, it just told me, stop reloading. You've found the mission you want. Also, on the theme of Carious, I'm going to stop very briefly. On the theme of Carious, you guys have been through this area a bajillion times, haven't you? Everyone here has come through here, right? Just remember, I believe... There it is. It's here every single time. If you have ever come through this room here, the Carious has been waiting for you all this time. Now, granted, that was very hidden. You cannot see it from down here. But it's always there. Ready and waiting for you. And you can get up there pretty easily with these ledges, you know? So there you are, Carious. Ayatan and Carious all in one mission. Don't say I don't help out. So the Carious, J-Bone, they are a collectible item. They reveal a little bit of lore about the Grineer in the form of a poem. So these poems, they have 4 lines per verse, and there are, I believe, 14 verses in total. So that gives you a whopping 56 of them to scan. How's the Ayatan hunt going? Well, yo, Kizo. Oh, your Quasar, is it? Your Quasar, have a look right there. An Ayatan style sculpture is now mine. There we go. So that's the basic process for this one. You basically just pop into that mission, do the scan, and fingers crossed you'll get it. So yeah, you do need to get yourself all the way up to level 15 with the helmet system to be able to do this method, because you need to know there is something there, and that is Golden Instinct. Golden Instinct is also going to pick up lots of other things. You can see it picks up medallions, it picks up rare crates, it picks up unscanned curious and unscanned fragments, so like the Cephalon fragments all over the map. That's why I was kind of freaking out that it might have scanned that one there, but now I have scanned them all. What's the best way to level up Helmeth? The best way to level up Helmeth is just to feed Warframes to it. Because if you try to overdo it, if you try to speed level it, then you'll end up spending loads of resources more than you need to. So take it slow, just feed in your Warframes as you're able to, and you'll get there quick enough. The other thing you can do is if you unlock them, these invigorations give a lot of XP as well. The invigorations are a good way to level it up. Am I decorated with the ayatans or endo hungry? Oh, I'm not endo hungry. I'm not endo hungry. I just need ayatans for my orbiter room. It's saying meet me in the dojo. Alright, I was about to wrap up, but you know what, guys? Let's quickly go have a look what Beard's on. You've got a little bit longer to get in on this platinum giveaway before we do the draw in just a moment, guys. Let's go have a look what Beard's got to offer here. Why does he want me in the dojo? Oh, he wants to trade. I didn't see that coming. Let's see. Beard has planned. Oh, Beard. You legend. Another 6 sculptures. You know what? I'll take. Thank you, Beard. Thank you. Let's grab the ammo drum. This is the currency we use in this clan. Sorry, run out of amber stars. Oh, don't worry, Beard. Don't you worry about that. I effectively run out of sculptures. I need more, so Beard, thank you very much. Let's get these added into the pile then. Thank you very much, Beard. Alright, let's pop on out of here. Let's go add some stars to all of these items I picked up today. And add them to the pile. Add them to the pile. Because those of you who peeked at the channel point options, you might see an extract everything button at the bottom there, the 500,000 spanners. In case any of you are wondering, that's referring to this item vault. Should end the stream in the item vault? That's where we're going to end, Space Cadet. That is where we're going to end. Let's just fill these in. There we go. I'm using that hotkey that I talked about on the Quality Life video. You know, it's not BS, it is an actual thing. There you go, you just saw it in action. That's Quality Life for you. Makes it easy to spend all of those stars. Now let me just check. I'm going to add these to my spreadsheet first. I've got a record, a ledger of all of these items. So I'm just going to quickly add these all in. I've got 4 more NASAs to add on. I've got 2 more airs. That's that one. I've got 1 more Orta. I've got 3 more SARS. And 1 more Via. There we go. Alright, that's all updated on here. So let's go add these to the pile then, guys. Let's go add these to the pile. Now the door is open. Orbiter, decorate. Let's see where I can find a spot for these ones. I'm thinking of just another new row here will be just fine. Yep, let's just pop you guys. A little bit of rotation. And another one. And another one. And another one. Is it lagging yet? We need a different type of item. There we go. I can just continue it around here. That should be fine. That. What's my favourite sculpture type? Probably the Keitha. That'll be this one here. This one just looks so beautiful. Yeah, that's my favourite one. Bitrate destroyed? Yeah, that happens a bit. that happens, but it's worth it for the shiny. It's worth it for the shiny. That one there. Let's put that one there, side on, so it kind of fits in. That's looking okay. Yeah, let's put these other ones elsewhere. Let's see. The SAR sculptures. You know what? I'm just gonna... Yeah, let's just kind of stick these to the side here. Just kind of haphazardly, you know, not really paying that much attention. They're just going into a pile, really. Let's spread them out a bit. Make them look a little bit more intentional with their setup. There we go. What's that one? The pad by the window? That's a floof. It's a floof! We got a few of those around. Is it laggier than the Valis yet? Not even close. Not even close. There we are. That's where we're at the moment. Including the one that's hidden up here. Because, you know, gotta have a sneaky one somewhere. I was hoping to get more. Have I resized them all to larger scale? No, these are all default size. I placed these all down with the exception of ones you've just seen. I placed them all down before the update. Do you really think I'm going to go through all of these and increase their size? God, do you know how much time that would take? No. It's not about the size. It's about what you do with it. There we go. That's my reasoning. That's the reason I'm going with for not going through and doing that. My favourite one is in the ceiling. Now my favourite one is over here. I placed this one down before the orbiter change, and it got stuck in the wall. So that one just kind of stays there now. This is the man in the walls sculpture. So yeah, as you can see, I've got a few up the top here. These are not vulnerable to extract everything. These ones are staying here forever because they are beautiful. They are part of the starting soon and stream ending screen, which you'll be seeing in just a moment, I suppose. But these ones, all of these are vulnerable to extract everything. If one of you decides you've had enough of seeing this room, if you want to end my collection, I hope none of you are choosing to do that anytime soon. But if you do, there is that extract everything button. It is 500,000 Spanish for a very good reason, because I don't really want you to do it. You know, I've been working hard on this. But one day, I know it's coming. One day, the door will close on that room for good. But for now, that hasn't happened. The room is intact. And that is indeed all that we have got time for in terms of Warframe streaming today, which means it is now also time for us to do the Platinum giveaway. As for reminding, I also said bits would suffice one day. Well, yeah, if you did 50,000 bits, okay, fine, then yeah, sure. But nothing less than that. That's my heart and joy over there. Unless you're going to put it 50k, no. 500,000 channel points, get on it. Until then, it's staying there for now. Now, let's have a look at today's raffle. I feel like we got a few people in it today. If you have not yet entered in the giveaway, make sure you do redeem that Platinum giveaway option. I'm just loading up the details for it, and as soon as I've got those details all here, I will be closing the entries for it. So if you have not yet selected it, you've had 3 hours. Click it already. God. Almost like you don't want to win it. Let me see. Raffle, spinner, text. And there's the spinner. Let's close the entries now. There we go. There we go. There we go. It wanted to argue with me. Sorry, Gunker, that is not how you redeem it, no. And it is now closed anyway, so you'll have to wait for the next stream if you want to enter the next one. But let's have a look. On here I have got all of the names because my bot has been dutifully recording them. I absolutely adore this bot. It used to be manually done. Oh my god, I am so glad we are past those days. It used to be quite something. So what we've got here today is this spinner. This is every single person who's entered into today's giveaway. That is 78 of you. 78, I'm going to give that a few shuffles for good old time's sake. And let's see, the winner of today's Platinum Raffle is going to be... Zomtronic! Well, there we go. 1 in 78 and Zomtronic, you are today's winner. Not every day goes to a subscriber on the channel, so there we are. Zomtronic, congratulations. I will be doing a usual contacting you just to let you know and make sure that is confirmed, just on the off chance you're here or forget or something like that. I already know your username and platform, so we'll be getting that sent on over to you there, Zomtronic. I'll give you all the details here on Twitch. To everyone else as well, thank you very much for joining in for yet another very wonderful stream. If you haven't yet already hit that subscribe button, you've been thinking about it, I mean, why not? Just go for it, you know? It's a few quid, or a few whatever it is in your local currency, few rubles, few dollars, few... What other currencies are there? I've forgotten. Euros? How did I forget euros? Well, there we go. But that is all that we have got time for today. Well, I'm going to go right over to another part of the Warframe community. Who are we going to go on over to now, guys? Who are we going to go say hi to? Which Warframe channel do we want to say hi to? I'm just looking over on my second screen, see who is live. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't know where to go. You know what? I think I found where to go. I think I found who I want to go to. I'm just going to make sure that they are not about to end their stream. Also, there we are. Riku2211. Thank you very much for your subscription at tier 1. I appreciate it, my dude. Thank you. Yep, this person's in fact just started their stream. That's perfect. So, we're going to go over to another Warframe content creator. That is the plan today. We're going to go over to another Warframe content creator. Let's show a bit of love to another part of this community. Let's show them what the Kenjineer streams are all about, guys. But that is all that we've got time for. Thank you again for joining in, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday for more good old Warframe.